Yes. Welcome into Utah Grizzlies hockey right here on YouTube, your home for Utah Grizzlies play-by-play all season long. Game 2 of the 2022-2023 ECHL season is about to drop at 7:10 face-off tonight right here on YouTube. Tyson Whiting will join me for the play-by-play. Tyson will have the call. I'll be down on the bench for color. For a must-win game for your Utah Grizzlies, obviously the outcome last night was not what anybody had in mind. After Rapid City got out to a 3-0 lead, the Grizzlies fought back all the way to tie at 3-3, only to lose the game 5-3, including an empty net goal from Rapid City. And Daniil Chechelev was in goal for Rapid City. He'll be in goal again tonight. And this is a critical game because after tonight, the Utah Grizzlies are not back here in the friendly confines of the Maverik Center until November 17th. That's 28 days away from home as they hit the road next weekend. It all begins in Idaho, but a very critical game tonight. And I'll tell you what, talking to some of the players, talking to the coaches this morning after morning skate, it was very clear that these players are not down at all. They got down 3-0 in the first period, and as Ryan Kanaswich is going to tell you here in a few minutes in our conversation before the game, you really wish that the Utah Grizzly goaltender Trent Miner had a better first period because he was stellar after that. But being down 3-0, the fight to come back, it takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of energy and enthusiasm to do so. And it's tough to keep that up over the course of a game when you have to fight all the way back. But make no mistake, the Utah Grizzlies were very good. In fact, even in that period where they were down 3-0, it's not like the Grizzlies played poorly. It's just those little mistakes that turn into big mistakes, right? When you turn a puck over instead of getting it in deep, those little things hurt you. And one of the things you can watch for tonight on the call here on YouTube and listen to Tyson Whiting's words is, are the Utah Grizzlies playing behind the Rapid City Rush's goal? If they're doing that, if they're playing along the walls, if they're playing behind that net in the Rapid City end, good things are going to happen. So a lot going on here at Maverik Center tonight. Don't go anywhere. Stick around because coming up here in just about 30 seconds, you're going to hear from Lukas Parik. Lukas Parik, where did he play last year? He played with the Rapid City Rush, but now he's with the Utah Grizzlies. We'll have a visit with the Utah Grizzlies netminder next right here on YouTube. Yeah, how about that? Thanks to our good friends at Saltbox Catering. Catered a great lunch at the golf tournament last week, and let me tell you, the Thai chicken wrap is amazing. So if you need catering, look them up. They're up in Park City. Saltbox, you can walk in. You can actually get some grab-and-go food from those guys as well. Really good local business owners at Saltbox. And by the way, yeah, they make some outstanding food. They're one of the caterers for the Utah Grizzlies. Let's talk about Lukas Parik, the fine goaltender for your Utah Grizzlies. You know, last year he was a Rapid City Rush. He was wearing that bright red uniform that you're going to see on the ice tonight. Well, Lukas is now right here in Utah. He's a Utah Grizzly. Had a chance to catch up with him before the game, and I asked him, hey, is there any emotion in this game knowing this is your former club?
It's a game against my old team, but I'm ready. No feelings, but yeah, I'm ready for the game.
No feelings?
No feelings. This is part of the game. It's part of the business. No feelings here.
You know, you guys, obviously you lost a tough game last night. Like, how important is the game for you guys tonight?
I think it is important to bounce back for us, especially when we go on an 8-game road afterwards. So I think this is actually a very important game for us.
You know, and finally you guys get home. It's got to be nice for you guys to be in your building. I mean, you've been at Acord for training camp, it feels like. So is it nice to be back in the building?
Yeah, it is nice to be back in the building, especially on smaller ice because Acord is an Olympic-size rink. So it's nice to be on a smaller rink just to get adjusted to the game again.
Yeah, is there a difference just playing that first regular season game? Or, I mean, do you feel like you guys are in the flow of it already, or what's the difference there?
It's always the first 2 games is the toughest part of the season because you kind of want to win both the games to get kind of the impulse for the team. But I think even though we lost the first one, I believe we have a good team to win the second one.
What are you focused on tonight for yourself? I mean, there's always things you're working on, but knowing what Rapid's going to bring after last night, what are you focused on?
Just to help my team as much as I could. That's my only job here.
Maverik's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
Indeed. Thanks to our friends at Maverik. Obviously, we are live at Maverik Center getting you ready for face-off. Let's get you down to the ice. Have a look. You see the lights are out. Warm-ups are over here at Maverik Center, and the guys are ready to rock and roll. It'll be a great house tonight, as you can see on the concourse. The concourse is full tonight as all of our great Grizzlies fans. Two of the opening stanza for the Utah Grizzlies. They dropped it last night 5-3 after going down 3-0. But tonight, you saw there the conversation with Lukas, Parik. I think it is a very big one, and I know that Lukas has a lot of pride in his performance. He is a great young man. He is a guy that this team believes in. I asked assistant coach Jared Pike about his goaltender tonight.
Obviously, I thought we played a pretty good team game. At times, we definitely took control of the game. Obviously, we didn't execute where we needed to, so tonight we got to be better in some areas, but overall, I like our game.
How do you guys react to that? I mean, obviously it's one game, but so many of the guys have said, hey, no, it's not. It's 3 games now. We don't feel good about that. How do you guys as a coaching staff react to that situation?
Well, at the end of the day, it was a new season yesterday, right? The real season just started, and so it's the first game. You're not going to win every game. We just got to come out, execute, be better in some areas that we feel we can improve, and we'll like our chances for tonight.
You got Lukas Parik going tonight, against his old club. What do you expect out of Lukas?
I expect him to be ready to go, as he should be. I expect him to play his angles well, manage the pucks and some other pucks, and give us a chance to win the game.
Yeah, there you go. Jared Pike, the local kid. Just 2 years ago, he was on this roster for your Utah Grizzlies. Now he's an assistant coach, and a great ad for Ryan Kanasowicz as his assistant on the bench. Speaking of which, coming up next, don't go anywhere, Ryan Kanasowicz and I will have a conversation about the game last night and what he expects tonight. Game 2 of the Utah Grizzlies season against the Rapid City Rush. What time is it? We're about 30 minutes away or 20 minutes away from face-off right here on YouTube. Ryan Kanasowicz next right here on the pregame show.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
Yeah, indeed it does. Look for the blue. Operation Lifesaver does great work here in our community. Be careful on those railroad crossings. Look for the blue. It helps you. What's helping the Utah Grizzlies tonight as they get ready to take on the Rapid City Rush? Boy, one of the names you want to keep an eye on tonight, and listening to Tyson as he paints the picture, you really want to keep an eye on Ben Tardif, the fine forward for your Utah Grizzlies. Coming off of a grind, he was in camp with the world champion Colorado Avalanche, then with the Eagles, now with the Utah Grizzlies. And he really hasn't gotten going just yet for the Utah Grizzlies. That's one of the questions I asked Ryan Kanasowicz in our pregame talk today, but I started asking him, hey, Ryan, how'd you feel about the performance last night?
Some sloppy play, especially early on. Obviously, 3 goals in the first 5 shots. Tough one to dig out of. I mean, we dug out of it, but I thought we took it to him for a majority of the game. But if we can put together 60 minutes tonight, should seal the deal for us.
Yeah. The thing that really stood out to me was when you guys got down 3-0, nobody quit. There was no give up. There was no rollover. Like, were you happy with their response at 3-0?
I was happy with their first period at 3-0. I thought they had a couple rushes went in. I mean, those are goals that typically Trent doesn't let in, so there was no panic in our group, and you knew he was going to come out in the final 40 and give us the effort that he did.
You get Lukas Parik between the pipes tonight. Obviously, Rapid City's his former team. He would not talk about it. He said, it doesn't matter. I'm here to help the Utah Grizzlies win tonight. You must be happy with that attitude.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably not saying that he wants to beat his old team. I'm sure he does, but obviously if he's saying that, that's what we want from our group, and excited to see him get the net tonight.
What do you like about him? What do you like about Parik's game?
There's a lot to like. I mean, he's 6'4", he's athletic, he moves really well. He's a great kid. He's always got a smile on his face, so sometimes goalies are a little, in a shell, in a sense, but he's out there, and he's definitely a big personality.
We're waiting for, Tyson and I talked about it on the broadcast last night, we're waiting for that Ben Tardif moment. What do you need? Is he going? Is he playing well? Like, what are you looking for from him tonight?
I just did video with him half an hour ago. He's still working out some kinks in his game. He's had a long camp, Av camp, Eagles camp. To come here, it's not unusual to see a bit of a letdown in the first couple games, so I'm expecting to see a lot better effort from him tonight.
Well, and I think he gets Rapid City's best two guys, like every one of his shift. It seemed like it was apparent to me last night they really pay a high level of attention to him.
Yeah, they do, as they should. But, he's got to find a way. He's going to see everyone's best two guys every night, while he's here. So he's going to have to find a way to work through that.
Appreciate you. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Yeah, make sure you get your salty snacks at Maverik. Maverik Adventures first stop there. You get a look at the ice. The Zamboni's on the ice. That means we're getting closer and closer to face-off tonight. Game 2 of the 2022-2023 ECHL season for your Utah Grizzlies against the Rapid City Rush. And again, I think there are a lot of storylines with this team as the ice gets ready to rock and roll. By the way, don't go anywhere. About 3 minutes away from Tyson Whiting joining you live to take you right up to face-off. And then I'll be on the bench with Tyson. Tyson, of course, the voice of the Utah Grizzlies, will have the call for you. I'll be doing the color commentary from the bench against the Rapid City Rush. But I think a couple of storylines tonight that are critically important. There is no doubt about the fact that goaltending is going to decide this game. And when you look at Daniil Chechlev for Rapid City, he was outstanding last night. Obviously, he gives up 3, but he easily could have given up 7 or 8 goals last night for the Rapid City Rush because the Utah Grizzlies got the puck to the net repeatedly. Will we see that again tonight? Having watched morning skate, having listened to, Ryan Kanasowicz talk to the players and then talking to Coach before, talking to the players before, the game tonight, yeah, you feel like there's going to be a lot more shots tonight. So keep an eye on that, and keep an eye on that top line for the Utah Grizzlies. I love the combination of Ben Tardif, Kyle Betts, Pfizer. Those 3 guys have a lot. But, a guy last night who got a goal is Dakota Raby, who's somebody that flies under the radar. He's one of those guys that can be a second, third, fourth line guy. Number 22 for your Utah Grizzlies, plays with a lot of grit and speed. He's not the biggest guy, but he does love to throw his body around. So watch out for Dakota Raby, number 22. And then again, I think we're waiting for Ben Tardif to get started on this season. I think tonight's that night. He's so talented. He's so fast. He's so skilled, and he loves to be physical. And the thing you'll notice as you watch this game go on is that the Rapid City Rush will dedicate 2, sometimes 3 guys to making sure that Ben Tardif doesn't have a lot of space for your Utah Grizzlies. So that is certainly something that you want to watch for. But again, in net for the Utah Grizzlies tonight, Lukas Parik. He's a young, big goaltender. He's very athletic, which you love. He's got tremendous core strength. He's very good at rebound control, which is something that Ryan Kanasowicz and the Grizzlies work on. Lukas Parik is a really good goaltender, and I'm excited to see him tonight in his regular season debut for your Utah Grizzlies. I can tell you a week ago, we were watching him take on the Idaho Steelheads in Boise last Friday, and he was outstanding. And I expect nothing less from him against his former team, the Rapid City Rush. So kind of keep your eye on that. And again, the overwhelming theme is how much and how often are the Utah Grizzlies behind the Rapid City Rush net? Because when they are, it is very, very good things. All right, we're about 15 minutes away from face-off. Don't go anywhere. Coming up next, Tyson Whiting will lead you up to face-off. I'll talk to you from the bench at face-off coming up at 7:10 right here on YouTube. It'll be Game 2, your Utah Grizzlies and the Rapid City Rush.
Live from the Maverik Center in West Valley City, it's Utah Grizzlies Hockey. As tonight's the second of a two-game weekend series between the Grizzlies and the Rapid City Rush. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Grizzlies Hockey. I'm Tyson Whiting here on a Saturday night. A good crowd is filing in here for Game 2 against Rapid City, and it's the last of a two-game homestand for the Grizzlies, who will be on the road for 8 straight games over a 3-week stretch. So make sure to come out to Maverik Center if you're in the West Valley area, as it looks like it's going to be another fun game. And I thought last night, despite the fact that the Rush ended up getting a 5-3 victory, I thought that was a fun game as well. It was a matchup of two really good teams, and it's kind of an interesting tale of two periods. The first frame, the Rush took an early 3-0 lead as Matt Marcineau, John Martin, and Rory Cairns each lit the lamp for the Rush. And in Cairns' case, he picked up his first professional goal. Utah responded with a really strong second period. Zach Secco scored exactly 2 minutes in to the second frame on a great centering pass from Cameron Wright. Wright was over along the right wing boards and just centered it to Secos, who was cutting towards the net. And you talk about an outstanding play. You talk about two forwards that really left their mark on opening night, Zach Secos and Cameron Wright. And watch out for those two again this evening. 3.5 minutes later, Dakota Raby cut into the Rapid City lead a little bit more. There was a scoring change. Originally, it was Connor McDonald and Cam Strawn, but as everybody knows, it was Johnny Walker in the corner that centered it to Raby, and then Raby put it away from the left side. And so Johnny Walker got an assist. Connor McDonald did not get an assist, so it was Walker and Strong on the assist on the Raby goal. And then about 5 minutes later, 10:05 into the second period, just about halfway through the scheduled 60 minutes, Taryn Pfizer cut down the middle. Victor Bartley was at neutral ice, found Pfizer down the middle. Pfizer made a move around Tyson Helgeson, and then he made a nice move again on Daniil Chechelev and tied the game halfway through the contest. It was tied at 3 after 2 periods. Logan Nelson, one of Rapid City's better goal scorers. In fact, he led the Rush in assists and points last season. He scored 9:43 into the third. Alex Aliardi had the main assist. Matt Marcineau also picked up an assist, and the Rush led 4-3. Grizzlies didn't get many chances in the third period, as the Rush had 7 shots in the third, but the Grizzlies only 5 shots, even though it felt like the Grizzlies had more offensive zone time than that. And then the Rush, at the end, picked up an empty netter, 17 seconds left in regulation. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens tonight. The Grizzlies outshot the Rush 37-26. We got a good goaltending matchup again this evening. Trent Miner got the start last night. He stopped 21 of 25, but he did get better and better as the game progressed. Miner might be a little bit rusty. He didn't see a whole lot of action in the preseason with Colorado in the AHL. I think he's going to be just fine moving forward, as Trent Miner is one of those guys who's got a great work ethic, and he's somebody that you know is going to have a bounce-back effort his next time out. The goaltender tonight for the Grizzlies, and it's an interesting story. Lukas Parik, he was Rapid City's starter last year. He played in 5 of the 6 playoff games in the Mountain Division Final for Rapid City. In fact, he had 2 shutouts against the Grizzlies. Remember the Brady DeVries game in Rapid City on December 29th, 2021? Well, the game before that, Parik picked up a 46-save shutout against Garrett Metcalf and the Grizzlies as Rapid City won 3-0. And then in Game 5 of the Mountain Division Finals, Parik got a 43-save shutout. So it's kind of interesting when you think about Rapid City taking 26 shots in last night's game. Parik might be that type of goaltender that the more work he sees, the more engaged he is, and the better he plays. We'll keep an eye on Lukas Parik, who's making his Grizzlies debut tonight. Last season with Rapid City, he had a record of 14-8-8 with a pretty good .915 save percentage and a goals against average better than 3. In fact, the save percentage was .919, almost .920, and a goals against average, I said it was north of 3, and I guess I lied, it's 3.14. But Parik will get the start for the Grizzlies. Daniil Chechelev will get the start again for Rapid City. He got the victory in last night's game. He stopped 33 of 36. Chechelev played for Kansas City last year. He is from Russia. Only 21 years old. He's a young guy. And Parik's only a young guy, too. I think Parik is only 21 years old himself. So we got two 21-year-olds in net and a pretty good goaltending matchup, and really a matchup of two pretty good teams, the Grizzlies and the Rapid City Rush. We'll take one timeout and come back in 30 seconds and have starting lineups for both teams. You're listening to the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
It's the Grizzlies and the Rush, second of a two-game weekend series. I'm Tyson Whiting, the starting lineup for the Rapid City Rush. We mentioned the goaltender before the last break, Danil Chechelev, 21 years old, out of Russia, 6'2", 185 pounds. He stopped 33 of 36 in last night's game against the Grizzlies. Chechelev played against the Grizzlies a couple times last season as a member of the Kansas City Mavericks. Last season with Kansas City, he had a record of 12-12-5 with an .894 save percentage and 3.64 goals against average. Starting defenseman for the Rush, Kenton Helgeson, their captain. His brother Tyson Helgeson is also on the Rapid City team and will be in the lineup for the Rush. This is the second year Helgeson has been captain of the Rush. He's 6'3" and 200 pounds. He had 2 penalty minutes and was a +3 for the Rush last night. He'll be paired up with Simon Levine, number 77. He's a young one as well, 21 years old. He's a big guy, 6'3" and 190 pounds. Levine had an assist in last night's game and was a +1. He's got an AHL contract with the Calgary Flames. The starting defenseman is Kenton Helgeson and Simon Levine. Starting forwards, Matt Marcineau. He had 1 goal and 2 assists, 3 points in last night's game. He's going to be starting in a forward spot. Watch out for him, taking a lot of faceoffs for Rapid City as their center. The other two forwards had outstanding seasons last year, and they combined for the game-winning goal last night. Alex Aliardi had an assist. It was a game-winning assist last year with Florida. He had 31 goals to lead the Florida Everblades to the Kelly Cup Championship. 31 regular season goals. He was outstanding in the playoffs as well. And Logan Nelson, who scored the game-winning goal last night. He led the Rush in assists and points last season. Nelson will be number 28, and Aliardi will wear number 42. So the starting forwards for the Rush are Matt Marcineau, Logan Nelson, and Alex Aliardi. Scratches for the Rush include Tanner Shackle, Callum Fryer, Zach Court, Brett Gravel. Gravel was outstanding last season for the Rush. Colton Leader, he played in last night's game, and the former Grizzly Garrett Klotz. Klotz starting his 5th season with Rapid City. The one change to the Rapid City lineup tonight, Keegan Iverson replaces Colton Leader. Iverson will probably be a 4th-line center tonight. The Grizzlies have hit the ice in their white jerseys with black numbers and professional green trim. Starting forwards for the Grizzlies, Keaton Jamison. He'll be playing his second game this season. He went scoreless last night, but Jamison, a good two-way forward. Cameron Wright, tied for the team lead with 5 shots on goal. He's still looking for his first professional goal. I got a feeling it might happen tonight. Zach Sekos scored a second-period goal and a nice centering feed from Cameron Wright exactly 2 minutes into the second period last night. Sekos is also starting for the Grizzlies. So the starting forwards are Jamison, Wright, and Sekos. Starting defensive pairing for the Grizzlies, Nate Klerman, the second season pro out of Notre Dame. He played a little bit in the 2020-21 season, so second full season as a pro. He'll be paired up with assistant captain James Shearer. Shearer went scoreless in last night's game, but watch out for him away from the puck if you're watching on Flow Sports and have a visual, because Shearer's that type of guy. He blocks shots, he moves the puck around, and he's got a pretty good shot. He had 3 goals late in the regular season in 13 games, so watch out for James Shearer on the blue line. He'll be paired up with Nate Klerman. Other forwards we're expected to see tonight, as it's Hispanic Heritage Night, and the Grizzlies will be introduced in English and in Spanish. In fact, I think it might be introduced in Spanish along as Kieran from the Grizzlies office is introducing the team in Spanish. He introduces Lukas Parik, the starting goaltender. He's making his Grizzlies debut. He has good size at 6'4" and 195 pounds. I got a feeling he's going to become a fan favorite this season. He's one of those outgoing personalities. He's a lot of fun. He's one of those where he's kind of the life of the party. 21 years old, former 3rd-round pick of the LA Kings. Rapid City fans loved him last season, and despite being in a different jersey, they probably still like him, but maybe not tonight as he faces the Rush. Grizzlies being introduced. The other forwards, we talked about the three starters, Keaton Jamison, Cameron Wright, and Zach Sekos. But Taryn Pfizer scored a goal last night to tie up the game. And Pfizer, and I mention him because he had an outstanding training camp and just added to that value with an outstanding opening night. Watch out for Taryn Pfizer. I think he's my pick to click. I think I see Monty on the bench.
Yes,
Let's see if
sir.
he can pick me up. There's Monty. What are your first thoughts heading into this game tonight?
I say buenos dias, my friend.
Si, senor.
Yes, sir. I think my pick to click tonight, I got to go Ben Tardif. I have to. It's going to happen. He is going to have a monster night tonight.
A lot of talent on the forwards. Grizzlies did have some good looks last night. After all, they had 36 shots on Danil Chechelev, and he'll be in net again tonight. I'm really fascinated to see what Lukas Parik brings to the table. Looks like we're about set for our national anthem here as a good crowd is filing in here on a Saturday night. Grizzlies will be on the road for 8 straight as the Grizzlies look to split the 2 games of this series.
Oregon Middle School performing America, the Spirit Lives On.
Oregon Middle School singing here at Maverik Center. Morgan Middle School here at Maverik Center. We'll have our national anthem shortly here in Game 2 of the two-game series. The Grizzlies look to split. Rapid City won 5-3 last night. Now here's our national anthem at Maverik Center. That was our national anthem here on a Saturday night at Maverik Center. Grizzlies taking on the Rapid City Rush. Grizzlies wearing the white jerseys with black numbers and professional green trim. Rapid City in a red jersey with white numbers and a little bit of black mixed in. As we'll turn the lights on here at Maverik Center. As Guy will flip the camera here on YouTube. Glad to be on YouTube this season, as Flow Sports as well are homes for Grizzlies hockey all season long. And Monty, it's a big one because after tonight, an 8-game road trip, you want to protect home ice, especially against a team like Rapid City that towards the end of the season you might be battling for the division title with.
Oh, yeah, and it's not optional. And you don't have to tell anybody down here on this bench that these guys are ready to go. Had a really good morning skate. I think Ryan Kanasowicz's message was, hey, let's clean up the little things, because, I know they were down 3-0, but they didn't play poorly in that first period. You and I talked about that last night, Tyson, that that was the oddest 3-0 lead because you felt like you had played really well, and then I think you shut off the middle of the ice. So you see this team doing the things that they need to do to win games, and tonight, you're exactly right, man. This is a must-have.
I'm interested in seeing Lukas Parik in net making his Grizzlies debut. Grizzlies fans got very familiar with him last season when he was with Rapid City. He had 2 shutouts against the Grizzlies, and for being a guy that's 6'4", he looks like he's very athletic. I really like the future of Lukas Parik.
Yeah, me too. And I talked to Ryan Kanasowicz before the game. He certainly is, looking forward to seeing Lukas in that tonight. The funny thing is, Tyson, I talked to Lukas as well. He didn't want to talk about Rapid City. He didn't want to talk about that there was emotion, or he was a little more jazzed up to play, against those red sweaters. He just wanted to talk about doing everything that he needed to do to be part of the reason this team wins this game tonight.
He's a former third-round pick of the LA Kings back in 2019. In net for Rapid City, once again, is Danil Chechelev. His backup is Adam Carlson. Chechelev stopped 33 of 36 in last night's game. Referee tonight, Rocco Stakoviak. The linesmen are Craig Peterson and Tyler Keston. Taking the draw is Zach Sekos. He wins it cleanly. Utah skating from right to left in the first period as Klerman feeds it across towards James Shearer. Shearer's in the area. Klerman in the corner. Rapid City in the left point has it. They feed it across to Kenton Helgeson. Helgeson has a bounce off his stick and goes out of the zone. As Rapid City resets offensively, skating from left to right. Helgeson throws a blue line to blue line pass. It doesn't connect to Nelson. Parik throws it towards the far corner. Klerman blows a tire. Nelson centers it. Shot saved by Parik. Boy, that was a good look there as Klerman fell down and Nelson got the centering pass through. Puck goes back to the Rapid City blue line as the Grizzlies make their first line change of the game. Rapid City changes up forwards. Rush dumping in, bounces off the backboard. Parik will give way to Victor Bartley. Bartley over to James Shearer. He tried to toss it ahead along the far boards. Kyle Betts, number 61. Betts, watch out for him tonight from Cornell University. Rush having the left point, feed it across the right. Righty shot goes wide. That was taken by number 27, Brett Reinhardt. Now the Rush feed it across the right point, but it goes out to center ice and into the Rush zone, giving the Grizzlies enough time to make a line change. As we're 1 minute into the game, neither team's taken a shot as of yet.
Interesting start here for the Rush. Good thing those two pucks got out, Tyson.
Rush tapping in from center ice. Calder Brooks chases after it, as is the Grizzlies captain Connor McDonald. Parik spins it along the near wall. Rush have it back in their own end. As the Grizzlies get Victor Bartley off the ice. Andrew Nilsson out there along with McDonald. Now a turnover. Grizzlies skate in. Betts with a left wing shot. Saved by Chechlev. And Rapid City will toss it to the right corner. Nilsson in the offensive zone. Will bounce it off the backboards. Betts tries to get there, but Quinn Wickers gets there first. He'll throw it to center ice where McDonald gets it. He'll peel back into his own zone. Connor with a left wing pass to Pfizer. At center ice, he'll drive it around the boards. Pfizer comes off the ice after his first shift of the night. Ben Tardif with a centering pass off, bounced off a Grizzly stick, and that was Penner, and the shot goes wide. Now left point, Bryson Martin in his first shift of the game fires it over to the right corner. Dylan Fitz tries to hit Penner. Rapid City picks it off. Penner in the corner battling with Wickers. It goes to Dakota Raby. Linesman has to get out of the way with Raby. He throws to the point. It's picked off. Keanu Yamamoto. As Yamamoto, right side, will step over the offensive line. Gets around Raby. And Grizzlies wanted a penalty, none to be had, as Raby skates towards the far corner. Now he feeds it back to the near side. The Grizzlies get it out to center ice. Penner crosses center ice. He drives a shot to Chechlev. He makes a pad save. Puck ends up in the left wing corner. As Rapid City will bounce it off the boards past Keegan Iverson. Iverson didn't play last night. He's the one changed to the Rapid City lineup as the scratches Colton Leader. Over in the right corner, Utah gets it. As we're about 3 minutes into the game, still no score. Grizzlies 3 shots, Rush have yet to take one. As the Grizzlies feed it towards their bench area with Tyler Penner. Penner will bounce it off a Rush skater. That was Matt Marchino, who had 1 goal and 2 assists last night. As Utah will back it out into their own zone. Victor Bartley, who makes great decisions with the puck. He's very patient. Bartley, 34 years old, 121 games of NHL experience. He feeds it to the left side for Betts. Betts crosses center ice, makes a move into the zone. He'll wrap it around the boards. As it goes to the right point, Bryson Martin, 8th different team he's been in this league. He gets taken away. Now the Rush have a breakaway. Nelson skates in down the middle. Backhand shot. Good poke check by Parik. As puck ends up in the left point. Rush with a shot. Stick save by Parik. Rebound goes to the far corner. Nelson feeds it up top for Tyson Helgeson. Helgeson wraps it around the boards. Cut off behind the Grizzlies net. Rush take it away. Rapid City skates towards a point. Drops it off for Reinhardt. Brett's his first name. He gets it poked away. And clearing it out of the zone is Johnny Walker. Last season, Walker was number 17. He's number 7 this year. Alex Aliardi crosses center ice. He'll dump it in. Rush make a line change. We're about 4 minutes into the game. Still no score. As Grizzlies pass it towards the offensive line. Rush poke it away. Now Rapid City races to the right corner with the puck. Calder Brooks will drop it off for Nikolaev. He'll get it to the slot. Rush get poke check by Utah, but Rush keep it. Solsdorf with a shot. That gets blocked. As the Grizzlies, Bartley got his stick held up, no call. Brooks over to Nikolaev. He'll skate towards the point, drop it off to the corner. Max Coda, number 9, 2nd year with the Rush. Coda skates towards the point. Now he's down the middle with plenty of room. He'll take a righty shot. And that one's hits off the glass and goes out of play off the protective netting. Interesting sequence of action there. 4.5 minutes into the game, still no score.
Yeah, boy, you got to love the start from Lukas Parik. And I know we talked about him a lot in the pregame, but I mean, this is a guy that is, you know, he's a big, strong, athletic goaltender, and I think we've seen that. That poke check on the breakaway, that was fantastic work, Tyson. Those are the kind of plays that will win you shifts, periods, and games.
Nelson probably got a little bit too close to him, but Parik probably sniffed out Nelson's move, having practiced with him all year last season with Rapid City. Rush won the face-off, right point. Solsdorf with a shot that gets blocked out in the slot. Grizzlies throw it back to center ice. Solsdorf loses it. Tardif will feed it cross ice. Deflects off the stick and goes flying into section 101. Luckily, it looked like it hit an empty seat as a fan comes away with a souvenir.
Yeah, you know, you don't want to hit those fans, man. That's bad for business. But this has been already a pretty electric start. Up and down action as we'll have a face-off at center ice for Tardif, Betts, and Pfizer.
That's a forward line to watch out for. I'm really intrigued about McDonald and Bartley paired up for the second straight night as the faceoff goes between the Grizzlies defenseman on to Parik. He gives it to Bartley. Grizzlies skating from right to left as you hear it on YouTube and see it on Flow Sports. Over to the left wing. Tardif skates in. He looks to start to Betts, who gets spun around. That's going to be a penalty. As Betts was trying to accept a pass in the slot, Simon Levine spun him around. And it looks like the Grizzlies are going to be on the power play for the first time tonight. And it's that forward line of Betts, Pfizer, and Tardif that drew that penalty.
That's right, and that is what, Betsy will do that for you. He's a guy that doesn't mind playing between the rings. He's a guy who doesn't mind getting hit. You've seen a lot of Ben Tardif. You've seen a lot of this line, Tyson. Have you liked what you've seen from that group the last 2 nights?
I really like it. It's one of those things, you know that the goals are going to be there. I really like the process of how they're going about things.
Yeah, me too. I think that's a great point. You know the goals will be there.
You just have to kind of go through the process, and with the talent that they have that, they'll break through at any given game. Holding's a call. Levine's in the penalty box for 2 minutes. Time the penalty, 4:51. Betts will take the draw, and it's won by Rapid City. Kenton Helgeson will throw it to the corner, and the rush will clear it out. Parik sticks it into the far corner as the Grizzlies skate from right to left. Ben Tardif around the net. Now Tardif skates down the middle, veers off to the right. Tardif crosses center ice with speed. Now he gains the offensive line. Tardif stops in the right point, spins it around the boards as Betts and Helgeson collide. Kenton Helgeson, his brother Tyson's also on the team. Pfizer near the blue line, skates towards his right, drops it off left side for Tardif. Back to Betts, sailed to Pfizer, take a shot, he scores! Terran Pfizer from the right circle, goes top shelf on Chechelev, and the Grizzlies get a power play goal and have taken a 1-0 lead.
And what did you see there? Absolutely what you saw there was Ben Tardif come flying into the zone, put the stop on, spray a bunch of snow, and get the possession set up. That's what you were looking for. Ben Tardif may not have scored that goal, but it's absolutely his play that made that goal possible. And you know what else you saw, Tyson? You saw a guy take a shot at his first available opportunity. Man, that is exactly what the power play for your Utah Grizzlies is supposed to look like.
Pfizer gets a goal. He's now scored in back-to-back games. Tardif has an assist in both of the games here this weekend, and Andrew Nilsson also with an assist. That's Nilsson's first assist of the year. As a rush, skate across center ice. Now they gain the line, left side. Good poke check by the Grizzlies. As Utah will feed it out to neutral ice. Time at goal 5:23. It's a power play tally. First power play goal by the Grizzlies this season. Fits it, center ice has it. He'll give it to Raby. Raby on the right side of the circle. Gets around Tyson Helgeson. Falls down. No call on the play as Raby gets back to his feet. Rapid City spins it around. As they're over on the far side, they get it out to center ice. Nikolaev at center ice. He's a young one. He's only 21 years old. He'll skate to the right side. Max Kodas wraps around. Now Utah back behind their goal line gets it as the Grizz spread the ice as they feed it over to the far side. Utah gets it across to Nate Clermont. Clermont at neutral ice gets it poked away as the Grizzlies to the right side. Or the rush, look to center it, and a shot. And that one gets deflected by Parik. Good job by James Shearer getting in the way, making the centering pass difficult. As the Grizzlies dump it around to Jamison. He's behind the net. He collides with Quinn Wickers. Grizzlies trying to feed it out in front, but they keep it. Skate towards the corner. As Cameron Wright, number 15, left side, takes a shot. Kick saved by Chechelev. Rapid City gets the rebound. They feed it out. Oh, Aliardi's got a breakaway. Aliardi skates in, take a shot. And Parik makes the save. Bartley kind of stuck his stick out to make sure that Aliardi couldn't get the shot off. He did, but Parik bails the unit out. 2 breakaways, but Parik stopped them both.
Yeah, and how about Victor Bartley selling out the body, slamming into the net? And why did he do that? Because he was able to block that shot. And on 2 times on that shift, Tyson, Shearer did it once and Bartley did it again. Sometimes you got to get on the ice and get snowy, and both times it helped stop a goal.
Good defensive work by the Grizzlies. They lead 1-0 on Terran Pfizer's power play goal. We're back in 30 seconds on the Grizzlies Hockey Network, presented by Mountain Land Supply Company.
When you pay with the Nitro card at Maverik, you always save 10 cents or more on fuel every gallon, every day. And you could save a whole lot more thanks to Nitro Best Price. Pick up a Nitro card and upgrade your...
Maverik's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
1-0 1-0 Grizzlies, 13-13 left in the first. Utah's outshot Rapid City 5-2. Rush had a couple breakaways. Logan Nelson a few minutes ago, and Parik was able to get a good poke check in, and then Alex Aliardi with a breakaway. Bartley got a stick in the way, and Parik was able to make the save as Lukas already shining for the Grizzlies. Utah wins the defensive zone draws. Connor McDonald lifts it high into the air. Bouncing puck taken by Helgeson as the Rush are skating from left to right in the first period. And the Rush get it out to neutral ice. They feed it over to the right side. Keanu Yamamoto, number 20, will wrap it around Parik behind his net, which is interesting with all the action. Now left side shot, saved by Parik. Goes back over, McDonald tried to reach for it. Yamamoto, right side, he'll take a shot that gets blocked out in front of Parik, and the Grizzlies clear it out. Bartley blocked that shot. He's been impressive here early on. Last 3 years he was in the KHL. Rush at neutral ice, feed it over to their offensive line as Rory Cairns. Now it's a delayed offside. Rush will make a full line change. It looks like they'll just get 3 guys out there as the defenseman will stay for Rapid City. As the Grizzlies dump it in, Cam Strong towards the corner, taken by Rhett Reinhardt, 6'4", 225 pounds. Grizzlies in the right point keeping it in. They spin it back around the boards, cut out by Chechelev. He'll spin it over to the near corner. Rapid City lifts it out to center ice, 2-on-2. Rush step over the line. Brooks with a right wing shot, saved by Parik.
Boy, Parik has been Johnny on the spot tonight. Several big plays, but you're seeing the Utah Grizzlies play with the lead, Tyson. And I know it sounds crazy, but the Grizzlies haven't had the lead in hockey games much, over the last 2 weekends, and it feels really good because there's a good crowd in the barn tonight, and you really feel like this is exactly what you expect out of this hockey team. And again, there's another little play, by the way. You talked about keeping the puck in at the top of the zone. And Penner absolutely kept the puck in, and that kept the play alive.
Take a look. Take a look.
Right circle face-off. For Rapid City, it's Matt Marchneau. He was a star last night. Kyle Betts wins the draw. He's going to be a key face-off man for Utah all season as Pfizer clears it out into the rush zone. Run down by Marchneau. He'll fire it off the near glass. As at center ice, Nelson successfully dumps it in. Parik stays in front of his net as Pfizer takes it. Pfizer's got a goal in back-to-back games, including one tonight. Sure, blue line to blue line pass to Tardif. That connects. Tardif onside. He avoids a check. Ben gets to the corner. Betts gets checked now behind the net. Can they feed it to Tardif? Rapid City picked it off as they anticipated the play. Aliardi with a good defensive effort for Rapid City. They get it out to center ice. Grizzlies drive it back in. Chechelev couldn't corral it as it rolls around the boards. Rush out towards their bench area. Gets hit by Betts. Fits in the area. They'll feed it back to the Utah blue line as James Scheer backs it out deep in the Grizzlies zone. He's out there with Victor Bartley. Scheer around the net. Will feed it over to the near side. Dakota Raby. Raby around center ice. Gets around a check. His pass to Penner's wide, but it goes to the right corner. Raby glides over there. Gets to Penner. I tried to center from behind the net, and that glances over as Rapid City gets the puck. And it looks like they're quick on the transition game. 2-on-3 as Coda skates towards the left corner. He's being shadowed by McDonald, and McDonald shadows him perfectly. Puck ends up in the right corner, rolls back towards McDonald. He gets it, spins along the far wall. It's kept in by Quinn Wickers in the left point. Feeds it across to Solstorff. He takes a shot, and that one goes wide as he trying to go stick side on Parik. Grizzlies getting it out to Bartley as he feeds it to center ice for Fitz. Fitz lightly taps it off the glass, and the Grizzlies make a change as Solstorff comes off the ice. Ryan Solsdorf, played for Indy, was acquired by Rapid City midseason last year. Grizzlies with a poke check, 2-on-2. Grizzlies skate towards the right circle, get it over to the left. Shot on that one goes wide as Jamison looking for his first of the year. Seconds with a shot, and Chechelev made the save there. Wickers around the boards. Martin tries to extend the stick, but couldn't keep it in. He'll race after it deep in the Grizzlies zone as we're about halfway through the first period. Utah leads 1-0 on Taran Pfizer's second of the year, 5:23 in on the power play. As Jamison gets hit from behind, throws to Martin. He lifts it out to center ice. Rapid City catches it, drops it. Simon Levine throws it ahead. Now the rush. Rory Cairns gets pushed along the boards. He'll feed it to the left side. Righty shot. On that one goes wide.
Great stick there. As Keaton Jamison got his stick down to block that shot. Boy, it has been fascinating down here on the bench, Tyson, as Walker and Iverson have just been jawing back and forth. That's one to keep an eye on tonight. And Walks is not shy about letting Iverson know that Iverson was in a seat not on the bench last night. So
Iverson was a healthy scratch. He's in there tonight. Now watch out for him because He's a big guy at about 6'2", 208, and Iverson can drop the gloves from time to time. As around the boards, as over in the left point action in the Grizzlies zone, as Marchand gets pushed along the boards by Betts, and the Grizzlies, James Shearer will feed it out to Tardif. I've noticed Shearer a lot here early on as it goes out towards neutral ice. Bouncing puck, Utah corrals it. As now backing it out deeper in their zone is Shearer, the former Brandon Wheat Kings captain. He'll feed it to the right side for Taron Pfizer. Pfizer over to Tardif, left side, center ice, and he'll drive it in as it bounces off the boards on one hop of the ice. As Betts gets the puck, he'll throw it to the slot. Grizzlies in the offensive zone as Bartley will get it over to Pfizer. Pfizer feeds it across. Rapid City picks it up. A stick goes flying. Is that going to be a penalty?
Interference. Like it'll be interference on Rapid City is what it looks like to me. Is Betsy had his stick ripped out of his hands, and that looks like big number 77 going back to the box. Yes, indeed it is interference. Another Powerade power play for your Utah Grizzlies.
Simon Levine gets his second penalty of the first period. Levine's an impressive one. 21 years old. He's got an AHL contract. 6'3", 190. I've noticed the size of the Rapid City defensemen, other than Zulsdorf, they all go 6'3" and taller.
And skilled, too.
Betts will take the face off. This time it's won by Rapid City. As they're over in the corner, they whip it back the other side, and Coda, just like he did last time the Grizzlies were on the power play, clears it out from that exact same spot. Parik over to Tardif. Ben, left side, veers off to the right. Goes down the middle, crosses center ice, gains the line with speed. Tardif gets over to Betts on the right side. Betts skates towards the far corner, throws it back up top for Tardif. Tardif, now Pfizer, trying to get it back to Tardif. Rapid City picks it off. Rush. Don't have numbers as the Grizzlies got back defensively, so they'll just dump it across the ice and make a line change, getting 4 fresh skaters. 8.5 minutes left in the first, 1:20 left in the Grizzlies' second power play of the night. Utah leads 1-0 as Tardif dancing around his blue line. Now he's along the near wall. He feeds it across. As Grizzlies around the net, that's Bryson Martin, number 14. Martin, no relation to Luke, who played for the Grizzlies last year. Gets over to the right side. Now back looking for Cameron Wright, but that one is incomplete. Rolls back to Parik. Wright will skate after it as he gets around his net. Gets it to Victor Bartley. Let's see if Bartley can quarterback this thing as he skates towards the middle. Drops it off for Martin. Now to the right side. Grizzlies enter the zone as Wright gets it around the board. Sekos receives it. Sekos throws it towards the slot. The only guy there was a rush skater, and he clears it out.
40 seconds to go in the Powerade power play here.
Parik will feed it over to Bartley as Victor will start the attack for the Grizzlies wearing number 42. Skates down the middle. He enters neutral ice. He feeds over to the right side. Now the Grizzlies enter the zone. Utah with some momentum. Cameron Wright left side. He'll take a shot. Oh, it looked like he hit the pipe.
Indeed it did.
Clears it out.
Oh,
boy, that close for him getting his first professional goals. He skates off the ice, and he knows he missed that opportunity. He would have had that puck, too, as Mason Whalen, the Grizzlies equipment manager, would have kept it for him. Grizzlies cross center ice again, late in the power play, over to the right side, and look for a shot, and it gets deflected out of play. 5 seconds left in the power play, and even though the Grizzlies didn't score there, it was a little discombobulated there for a few seconds. Once they got in the offensive zone, Wright got that chance.
Yeah, and you really want more possession than that, and that's the difference. You see the two different power plays, one's a goal, one's not, because you didn't have that sustained possession. But what did we talk about in the pregame? Get the puck behind their net. Get behind the Rapid City net. Good things happen, and I think you're seeing more and more of that here in the first period.
Draws in the right circle. Utah 6 shots to Rapid City's 4. 5 seconds left in the power play. As the linesman taking his time to drop the puck, he doesn't have any dinner plans as Rush cleared out to center ice. James Shearer will back it out into his own zone as Levine out of the box. He'll join the play initially. Now he'll skate off as Grizzlies cross center ice and dump it into the left corner. Rapid City races after it. They throw it out to neutral ice. Tyler Penner gets back checked by Rapid City. Penner in his own zone. Max Coda has the puck. Coda on a tough angle hits the side of the net. As Coda will throw it towards Zulsdorf in the left side as he's battling in the corner. Now 2 Grizzlies and another rush skater over there. Nikolaev gathers it, and they'll spin it around to the right side. Now up top for Reinhardt. He fires into traffic in front of the net. Grizzlies picking off. Shearer around the net. We'll get it back towards Klerman. Back to Shearer. Those guys are the starting defensive pairing for Utah tonight. Grizzlies get it to neutral ice, right side. Tyler Penner crosses the red line and dumps it in. He'll come off the ice along with Dakota Raby as Kyle Betts enters along with Tardif. And Pfizer is Logan Nelson crosses center ice, left wing pass into the zone. Back to Nelson, it glances off his stick. As Grizzlies come up with it, Kyle Betts back to Tardif. He's at neutral ice near the Grizzlies bench. He feeds it across to Bartley. Bartley gets around a skater, throws to Pfizer, back to Tardif. He'll take a lefty shot.
Oh.
Saved by Chekhtchev, but what a play by the threesome there of Tardif, Pfizer, and Bartley.
Look out here. Bartley involved in a serious discussion in front of the net, but another excellent shift on the Tardif group. And you're seeing it more and more, Tyson. They are getting pucks to the net. That is a recipe for success here for the Grizzlies.
We need a good nickname for Ben Tardif. We'll think about it during the break as Utah leads 1-0 on the Grizzlies Hockey Network. Grizzlies, 5:50 left here in the first period. I'm Tyson Whiting here, high atop section 114. Monty's on the Grizzlies bench as Ryan Kanaswich talking strategy. And you talk about that five-man unit, the three forwards, Tardif, Pfizer, and Betts. They've really kind of carried the mail for the Grizzlies here so far.
Yeah, and I think you hit the nail on the head, though, as well. I love McDonald and Victor Bartley together. I agree with you 100% on that, man. Like, I think that's a really solid pairing. I think these five guys, I think there's a number 2 goal coming for this group. Tardif's going to happen here at some point.
Tardif the magician. I would call him the magician, but I called Yuri Toreo that a couple years ago. As he had a pretty good year in the season that was abbreviated and ultimately canceled in 2019-2020. Or maybe it was the year before that, as we're waiting for the linesman to drop the puck.
Man.
Betts will take it again. Rapid City wins it. Faceoffs are pretty even in last night's game. Kind of looks like that here. Aliardi to the left side as he's at the wing. He drops off for Nelson. I try to get it back to Aliardi. Passes wide of the mark. Right point. Rush throw it to the corner. As Nelson spins it along the wall, Simon Levine gets it. As Levine, left point, will fire it off the boards for Nelson. He couldn't corral the bouncing puck as it goes to the corner. Bartley runs after it, gets to Tardif. On his pass towards the slot's picked off. But Rapid City has it rolled back to Tardif as he gets it to Victor Bartley, who's behind the Grizzlies net. And he'll slow things up as he'll hold on to the puck. He'll feed it ahead to Betts. Betts skates down the middle, crosses the center ice logo, and he'll dump it in. Pfizer runs after it. Kenton Helgeson, the other number 8, gets it. Helgeson played for the Grizzlies over 2 seasons, 69 games. He'll get it across. Yamamoto drops it off, looking for Karens. He fires a centering pass. Grizzlies poke it away. Good poke check by the Grizzlies. They've done a great job with active sticks here tonight. Jamison gets hit at center ice. Rapid City feeds it back into the Grizzlies zone. Parik raises his arm, and
Offside.
so does the linesman.
Yeah, clearly offside. But, you know, one of the things I've noticed about Rapid City, Tyson, is they're much more dangerous on the right side of the zone. So on the close side to you in this first period, I feel like they're a lot more dangerous on that side. You notice that goal last night, that 4th goal, was coming from the left side back to that right side. They like to enter on the right side of the zone. They seem a lot more dangerous on that side.
Some of their best scorers, whether it's Nelson or Aliardi, just happen to be right shots. John Martin as well. As Grizzlies win the draw, puck over in the right corner. Andrew Nelson out in the ice. He's standing at the point, but the puck's still in the corner. As Grizzlies get held up by Quinn Wickers. Wickers, 6'4", 215, continues to hold Utah up along the corner as the referee's spotting it, looking for something, but nothing to be had as Zulsdorf comes out of the pile with the puck. As he'll gather it, and he'll fire it to center ice. Good job by Nilsson getting in the way of that one. As Sekos gets it off of Nilsson, he'll feed it across to Bryson Martin. Martin ahead to right, he crosses center ice, fires a shot. Chekhtchev makes a save in the butterfly position as the rebound goes out to Rapid City. Rush trip in the corner. Grizzlies battling with 3 rush in the area. Now Wright has the puck. He'll throw it to Martin. He'll take a shot. That one gets blocked about 5 feet in front of Chekhtchev. And the Rush will carry it out to center ice themselves. As 2 Rush players almost collide, Grizzlies poke it back towards their bench. It's at center ice. Coda gathers it, and the Rush will reset as they'll feed it over to Reinhardt. He crosses center ice, and Rhett will bounce it into the left corner. Shearer gets it across to Martin. as Bryson Martin over to Tyler Penner. Ahead to Raby, now across to Sherry, across the center ice. He'll step over the blue line. Oh, he looked for a one-time attempt, and Fitz fanned on it. As Shearer in the area, Fitz battling along the boards. Fitz throws it into the corner as Reinhardt gathers the puck as he'll bounce it off the glass, and Utah poked it away. Good job by Dylan Fitz, but it goes out to center ice. 3-on-3. Rapid City will step over the blue line as they'll skate towards the corner. Tough angled shot, kick saved by Parik. McDonald gets the rebound. He'll feed it over to Tardif as he skates around his net. Tardif with outstanding speed gets to neutral ice. Now center ice. He is flying like a blur. He's to the left side. Now around the net. Looks to center it, but nobody was home. Puck ends up deflecting to the left point. And we get a whistle.
In the air.
It's going to be a cross check. Who's it going to be on?
I think it's going to be on Ben Tardif. I think Ben Tardif is going to go to the box here for 2 minutes for cross-checking. You're exactly right. With 3:01 to go in the period, Grizzlies up 1-0 here, but a critical kill is coming. Well, you just hate to see that in the offensive zone. That's an opportunity that you lose there. But one thing to watch is Chechlev, his rebound control has been not his best. I think he was certainly better last night than he's been tonight, Tyson.
And I remember when he was with Kansas City, he allowed a few rebounds out in front of his own. And the Grizzlies were able to capitalize on a few occasions here in early March when he was with Kansas City.
Yeah, big draw here.
In the right circle. Utah went 2 for 3 on the penalty kill last night. Rapid City was 1 for 3 on their power play. Rush power play was pretty good against the Grizzlies in the regular season, but in the Mountain Division Finals, the Grizzlies penalty kill really did a good job. We'll see what happens here in Game 2 of the 2-game set. Last game is Rapid City won 5-3 last night. As Olsdorf gets it in the right side, Rapid City won the face-off as Klerman battling behind the net. Karen's in the area. Klerman gets it over towards Sekos, and he'll clear it out.
All the way down it goes. Great play by Klerman. Won a battle behind the net to get the clear.
Chechlev gives it to Zolsdorf. Watch out for him quarterbacking the power play. He did so late in the regular season for Rapid City. They'll feed it over to the left side. Rush cross center, and they'll get it in. Nelson to the right side. He led the Russian power play points last season. As they'll get it up top, Zolsdorf over for Marshno. Back to Nelson, back to Marshno near the boards. They'll get it to Zolsdorf. Back to Marshno. Just outside the right circle, feeds a tough pass, and it's caught by Nelson. Make that Cairns, Rory Cairns, over to Marshno, back to Cairns, number 91. He scored his first pro goal last night. Back to Marshno, up top for Zolsdorf, back to Marshno. He gets to Cairns. I tried to feed it out in front to Nelson. Grizzlies poke it back to the point. Zolsdorf skates over there to keep it in. He'll feed it across to Marshno. Puck's been in the Rush offensive zone for a while now. Nelson around the net as he'll skate towards the left side, just outside the circle, drops it off. Rapid City gets it to the far goal line. Marshall cuts towards the net. Grizzlies spot it and get a stick in the way as it flies out of play off the protected netting. Good job denying that centering pass, but Rapid City had a lot of offensive zone time there.
Yeah, well, and that's a great job with stick defense. I mean, you can't always get to somebody physically. You have that stick, you deflect that pass, it allows a line change, and you're all the way down here with 44 seconds to go.
Faceoff's going to be in the left circle. Calder Brooks will take it against Kyle Betts. Betts crouches down as the Rush win the draw as the puck's to the left side. Rush get it over towards Nikolaev as they made a line change in the last whistle. Feeds up top for Levine. He'll take a shot. That one gets blocked right in front of Parik. Now Levine skates towards his left up top, gets to Nikolaev. Number 7 takes a shot, and that one's blocked by Parik. Nikolaev, 21 years old from Russia. Back up top for Levine, out to Nikolaev. Looks like he's a pretty good shooter. As goes to Levine, number 77, couldn't locate it. But the puck ended up deflecting towards Nikolaev. Collision near the corner. Grizzlies trying to keep it clearing out. It stays in. Nikolaev over to the right corner. Calder Brooks tries to spin along and hit off Bartley's stick. Back towards Brooks. He'll get it to Nikolaev, right side. He'll take a shot, saved by Parik. Rebound, Coda shot, kick saved by Parik. Tardif out of the penalty box. Rush stay in the offensive zone as they get it around the net. Now Tardif gets a big collision behind the goal line. Tardif gets it out to center ice. James quick cam strong, 26, gets it over to Tardif. Tardif feeds over to the right side. Good redirection by Rapid City as Jamison is cutting towards the net. Jamison on the right side gets to Tardif. It goes past him, rolls towards the left corner. Tardif with a big hit. As Grizzlies, Jamison gets it taken away by Nikolaev as Jamison got held up along the boards. Now Rapid City at neutral ice, crosses center ice, 3-on-3. Nikolaev will bounce it in on one hop to Parik as the Rush make a full line change. And we're late in the first period, 20 seconds left and counting. Both teams with 8 shots. Utah leads 1-0. Raby around the net. He'll get it over to the right circle. Rush pick it off. Rapid City throws it to center ice. Bryson Martin in the area. He'll get it to Nilsson. 7 seconds left and counting. Nilsson wraps it around the boards. Raby on the far wall gets hit. And he keeps his feet, and it looks like that will do it for 20 minutes of play here at Maverik Center. And it was an entertaining 20 minutes. Grizzlies got a power play goal by Taryn Pfizer, 5:23 in. I thought both teams defensively were on point, and that power play is the difference in the game right now.
Yeah, 100%, and I think defensively this was a much better period. And how good is Lukas Parik? Because he's going to go over actually and talk to the official tonight.
I think what happened on the power plays, they had a guy stationed right in front of the crease. They were trying to rattle him a little bit, and I think he wants to see if they can find a way to boot him out, as the Rush are trying to get a lot of traffic out there on that last power play in front of him, and that might be what he's talking about.
Yeah, I would agree with that, and I think the interesting thing is the Rush coach is barking.
He was barking at his former goaltender.
Barking at Parik. You can't tell me there's no heat in this. You can't tell me that Parik doesn't take a lot of pride in this, because I'll tell you, Tyson, last night between the benches, they didn't talk to each other much. Tonight there was a lot of talk between these two teams, and it's because familiarity breeds contempt. And in this league, when you see guys on back-to-back nights and you see them 3 out of 4 nights, chirping like that's going to happen, as you're well aware.
It's a rivalry, and it is not a friendly one either. It is a very heated rivalry year after year between the Grizzlies and the Rush. The names might change on the back of the jerseys, but for some reason it doesn't take long for these teams to have some serious disagreements with each other.
No, I would agree with that. And this has been a fun 2 nights. Listen, if you haven't been out to Maverik Center, I mean, it is. The next time you come to Maverik Center, this building's going to be completely different. And what you're seeing on YouTube tonight, it doesn't do it justice. When they come back, you got to get out here, because these 2 crowds, Tyson, have been fantastic. This crowd has been loud again tonight.
Yeah, good crowd here for a Saturday night. Unfortunately, the Grizzlies will be on the road for 8 straight, so the fans are getting one last look at hockey for about a month. And it's going to be an interesting road trip. We'll talk about that a little bit later on in the program. But when we come back, first intermission report presented by Siegfried and Jensen. We'll recap the first period. And it was an entertaining one. Taryn Pfizer for the 2nd straight game gets a goal. This time it's a power play tally. Grizzlies lead 1-0. Both teams with 8 shots on goal. Right here on the Grizzlies Hockey Network, presented by Mountain Land Supply Company.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps you.
Grizzlies lead 1-0. Intermission report presented by Siegfried and Jensen. Oh, boy.
There is a proposal happening on the ice right now at the intermission. Very clearly she said yes, but they play this game where you have to put on hockey pants, a helmet, a jersey, gloves, and then go shoot it into the net. Grisby, the fine mascot of your Utah Grizzlies, held up the man so that the woman could score the goal, and the man has now come over and dropped down to a knee in a Colorado Avalanche sweater and proposed, and she absolutely said yes. Wow.
What jersey does she have on? Looks like she's got like a red one. If that's
Calgary
a Red Wing,
Flames.
Oh, Calgary Flames. I was thinking if that's a Red Wings jersey, I don't know how that.
No. You don't marry Red Wing fans. You just don't. But it's fine. Oh, what a great moment. What a great moment. Wow.
Well, you never know what you're going to see here at Maverik Center. Now, they played the song from, I think, Bruno Mars, and some of the lyrics were, I think I want to marry you.
Yes.
I don't know. I was thinking, is that an omen of things to come? And it turned out it was.
Yeah, what a great moment. See, and that's what's so great about Grizzlies games. Folks, when you come out here, it's community, it's family, it's fun, it's moments like that. You come to a Grizzlies game, and memories happen that you'll never forget. Wow, what a moment on the ice at Maverik Center.
It was a fun first period. There were very few whistles in the first, and there's always this thing where you talk about a jinx. What you don't want to do when there's a game that's moving along swiftly is talk about how the game's moving along swiftly, but we only had 15 faceoffs in that first frame. Rapid City won 9 faceoffs, the Grizzlies won 6. Both teams had 3 scoring chances. Both teams had 8 shots on goal. Grizzlies had 3 giveaways. Rapid City had 1. But I think the difference in the game and why Utah's got a 1-0 lead, obviously that power play goal, and then a couple breakaways that Rapid City had in the first half of the period. Logan Nelson with a breakaway from about the offensive blue line in, skated in, and Parik with a good poke check to make sure Nelson didn't get a shot off. And then a couple minutes later, Rush had another breakaway, and Parik was able to make that save as well.
Yeah, and I think what you saw there is you saw a team effort. I mean, remember the play where Bartley dives, goes flying into the net, takes the net off the moorings after blocking the shot. James Shearer down to his knees, stick extended, blocks a shot. Like, you can see, Tyson, that the Utah Grizzlies are playing desperate hockey. And I think it's what you said in the pregame, that this is a must-win. There's just nothing to talk about. And I think you're seeing that in their play tonight.
It's kind of funny in game 2 of 72, but yet it feels like one of those games. You know, both teams won 6 games against the other in the regular season, and especially here at Maverik Center, because the Rush are pretty tough to beat at home over at the Monument in Rapid City. That's where you want to protect home ice anytime you can, especially against a good team like Rapid City. If you think about guys that stood out once again in the first period, and really it's been the case all year long. I think you and I both saw it in training camp. Taryn Pfizer, from day 1 of camp, just made his mark on this year's club. He had a really good preseason last week, scored a goal on a really nice move to tie the game at 3 halfway through the second period, and tonight gets the power play goal. And with Dastu being out, and obviously that's the thing that a lot of Grizzlies fans seem to be talking about. So who's going to replace Dastu as that finisher on the power play? Well, I think we're seeing it with Pfizer. He had a power play goal last Saturday in the preseason game from the left, and tonight from the right side, getting the power play goal. He might end up being that finisher on the power play for Utah.
Well, I think you have a lot of different options. I think certainly Kyle Betts is a guy, but there's no doubt that Andrew Nielsen is the guy. If you want a defenseman, Andrew Nielsen's the guy that's got a howitzer for a shot. I mean, he's that guy, but I think you have such a deep forward unit that I think you have plenty of talent. And listen, Dastu is such a good offensive defenseman, but the story of this Utah Grizzlies team is you have a depth of talent. You have a lot of different guys with a lot of different skill sets. I don't think you're going to, frankly, struggle to score goals on this team. I think the power play is going to be interesting, though. To your point, I think Ryan Kanasowicz very clearly trusts Taryn Pfizer out there on the man advantage.
And Tardif, he had 20 goals last year, but it's really the ice vision that he has. It was kind of interesting seeing him go to the left circle because last year it was really up top near the Bud Light can there in the high slot where he would either go to the left, go to the right, and he really had just an insane I don't know what you call it. You just had that vision. You just making the right decision, finding the open guy, whether it's to the right side. And every now and then, he'd stand there in the high slot and he'd throw a no-look pass, look to his left and feed it to his right.
Yeah, I mean, that vision's exactly what you would call it. I mean, he is a very instinctual hockey player, and I think his skill set, is one you don't see that often. But I think what you saw was a change in tactic out of Ben Tardif. I mean, I think you saw a guy that flew into the zone with a lot of aggressiveness and then, does that hockey stop, that hard stop, flips around, and that's creating space because as we've seen, what happens is you're going to get multiple Rapid City Rush going to Ben Tardif because he's that good. So naturally, you're going to have more space for a guy like Taryn Pfizer. That's money. That is absolutely an opportunity, and that's why I think you're seeing that Pfizer's getting more opportunities, and he may not be scoring goals, but I also think that Ben Tardif's having a big impact on the game. And I think his speed, you talked about him being an absolute rocket ship through the neutral zone. That's why Ryan Kanasowicz has him on that top line, because he is just faster and he's got more moves and jukes than any defenseman in this league, certainly. And he's a guy that can play up in the AHL, there's no doubt. And you asked about it last night, Tyson, when you have 3 levels, when you have the Colorado Avalanche, the Colorado Eagles, they're just so deep. It's a numbers game, but there's no doubt Ben Tardif could be up top, no doubt about it.
it's been a great organization, and some teams don't even use the three-tier system. They kind of look at this league as a bit of an afterthought, and really the Avalanche and the Eagles, taking advantage of this level and really using it as a three-tier system has really benefited the Grizzlies, and it's been a great partnership, which is now in its 5th season. Looks like second period action will begin in about 9.5 minutes. It's a busy night in the league. Second intermission, Allen leads Wichita 4-1. Allen's 0-1 on the season. They lost last night. This is Wichita's season opener. It's at Intrust Bank Arena, and the Allen Americans lead 4-1. Looks like Sossaman has 2 goals for Allen. The former Grizzly, Chris Mallory, has also lit the lamp for the Americans. Second intermission, Kansas City leads Tulsa 4-2. Tulsa's 1-0 on the season. It's Kansas City's opener. The Grizzlies will face Kansas City on the road trip, and I think that's the second stop of the 3 stops in the road trip, as the Grizzlies will be at Kansas City November 1st, 4th, and 5th. This looks like McKenna's got 3 goals already tonight. McKenna with a hat trick for Kansas City as they lead 4-2. That one going into the 3rd period. Second intermission, Idaho leads Iowa 5-2. Idaho, really an offensive machine so far in the regular season. They had 6 goals last night. A.J. White has scored for the Steelheads, but it looks like it's a little bit more of a balanced scoring attack. Colton Keller has 2 goals for the Steelheads. He has 3 so far in the weekend series at Extreme Arena. Just starting up the 3rd period, Cincinnati leads Fort Wayne 5-1. Games that have gone final. Toledo defeats Wheeling 5-3. That's a big rivalry. I know when the Grizzlies were facing Toledo, I actually heard from Wheeling fans. Some Wheeling fans actually called me up and said, hey, whatever you do, beat Toledo. We're rooting for you. And heard some Fort Wayne fans as well. There's some good rivalries in this league. Worcester defeats Adirondack 5-4. It was also a 5-4 final in overtime. The Savannah Ghost Pirates, in their first game in their history, they get a victory in overtime 5-4 over the Greenville Swamp Rabbits. Fun fact, the Rapid City Rush and Greenville Swamp Rabbits are owned by the same people.
Who knew?
Indy defeats Kalamazoo 5-3. Jacksonville over Orlando 5-2. Florida gets their first win of the season as the defending champs defeat Atlanta 5-3. That game played in Duluth, Georgia. South Carolina opened up a can on Norfolk, 8-1 the final there. The Trois Rivières Lions defeat Maine 3-2, and Newfoundland over Reading 4-3 in overtime.
Did you just say opened up a can?
Yeah, they did. It was an 8-1 final. South Carolina over the Norfolk Admirals.
That's amazing. Opened up a can here on Mexican Heritage Night here at the Maverik Center. It's very festive between periods right now, Tyson.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
I noticed right there on the right side of the ice is what we're looking at. There was a lot of flags of different countries that were hanging up right there near the facade to the upper deck.
Yeah. Yeah, it's fun. You know, the crowds have been really good this weekend, which is great because this is a really good hockey team. I mean, the Utah Grizzlies are, you know, I don't have to tell anybody this, but they're a classy organization. They've worked really hard to put together a great opening weekend, and I think it's gone swimmingly. And again, I cannot speak enough about the effort and the energy in this organization to get this building ready. And, you know, in 28 days, I guess it is, when the Grizzlies come back, it's going to be unbelievable because the center hung scoreboard that's going up, and if you happen to be at Maverik Center tonight, you can look above center ice and see the 4 screens that are there. You notice new ribbon boards around the upper deck. Those are video boards that will be lit up and ready to go when we come back November 17th. But you look at all the upgrades and the effort, Tyson, that's going into this building. It is so exciting, and I don't mean to be dramatic, but it does feel like a new era of Utah Grizzlies hockey.
New era. They won the Mountain Division Championship for the first time last season. The banner was unveiled last night, and you kind of hope that a Mountain Division Championship banner is just one step, just that first step. You know, you're thinking about winning the Western Conference, winning the Kelly Cup. Who knows what this season's going to bring in Ryan Kanaswich's second year. But they do have the talent. They got the forwards. I believe they have the goaltending. And we've seen it here so far through 4 periods. And really, we saw in particular in this first period, the defensive unit for the Grizzlies really does a good, really I think it's very solid when you think about Klerman and McDonald, Shearer, Nielsen, who brings size, and Victor Bartley. Seems like every defenseman that was on the ice for the Grizzlies had a solid first period.
Yeah, I would expect Ryan Kanasowicz to want to talk about, hey, we got to have better spacing, we got to have better gap on defense. You had those 2 breakaways, and if Lukas Parik doesn't stand on his head there, I mean, that's probably 2 goals. I mean, he made 2 great saves, one on the poke check that you so perfectly called. I mean, you got to clean those things up, and the other thing, I think you just have to continue to play behind their net. Continue to be aggressive, continue to get those opportunities, tighten up a little bit defensively, Tyson, and I don't see any reason that you can't take further control, because let's be honest, 1-0 might as well be a tie game. In this league, 1-0 is not a lead at all. So the next goal is going to go a very long way to determining the winner of this game.
I agree with that. First intermission presented by Siegfried and Jensen. That's the Siegfried and Jensen intermission report as YMCA being played here at Maverik Center. We'll come back and start the second period. Utah leads 1-0. Both teams with 8 shots on goal. Taryn Pfizer with a power play tally, 5:23 in. You're listening to the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Maverik's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
When you pay with the Nitro card at Maverik, you always save 10 cents or more on fuel every gallon, every day. And you could save a whole lot more thanks to Nitro Best Price. Pick up a Nitro card and upgrade your Adventure Club account today.
Now we're about set to start the second period of play as the officials have hit the ice. We're waiting for the Grizzlies and the Rush here in the second game of a 2-game set. The road trip for the Grizzlies, the next broadcast will be on Friday night, 6 days from now at Idaho Central Arena. So the Grizzlies begin a 2-game series with the Idaho Steelheads. They'll be at Idaho next Friday and Saturday. And then Tuesday, November 1st, the Grizzlies will be in Kansas City over in Independence, Missouri. Their first meeting with the Mavericks this year. That series continues Friday and Saturday, November 4th and 5th. They'll have 2 days off in Kansas City. And then they'll head to Allen, Texas, about 30 minutes away from Dallas. And they'll have a 3-game and 4-night set there, November 9th, 11th, and 12th. You hear Chris Hagan get loud wherever you are, whether you're on your couch, sitting in your car, listening to the game on YouTube. The Grizzlies have hit the ice for the second period, and year after year, it's so great to hear Chris Hagan. You think about the experience of coming to a Grizzlies game, and there's nothing like Chris Hagan. He was out for 1 year a couple of years ago, and it just wasn't the same without him. And I know last night, and should have made a mention of it last night, he wore a Lyle Bradley jersey.
Yes, he did.
Lyle passed away recently. He was one of the greatest players in Salt Lake Golden Eagles history.
Yeah, Chris is rocking the retro leather jacket tonight. Chris is infamous for his baseball caps as well, because he's got the long flowing strawberry lettuce. So he absolutely loves his baseball caps.
Oh, you should see the cap I was wearing earlier today. My favorite baseball cap I wore earlier today. It's a Cincinnati Reds. I know you're a Cubs fan, but it's that Cincinnati Reds pinstripe hat. White pinstripe hat with the red pinstripes.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to see it after the game.
It's a beaut.
That's by far my favorite hat.
Well, you have quite the hat collection, though. I mean, you showed up last week. What was that? I can't remember what hat that you had bought somewhere on the internet.
It was an Anaheim Angels hat.
The retro Anaheim Angel hat that was spectacular. So, I mean, I am jealous. As many shoes as I have, I cannot touch the quality of your hat collection.
Well, I don't have very good hair, so I got to cover up one way or another.
You and I both.
Well, that's what age does to you, I guess. In my case, I'm only 35. I don't know what, I must not be aging very well.
No, I'm aging spectacularly well. Thank you very much. As we start the second period, don't forget this is a long change this period. So your defensive end is furthest from your bench. So you really have to be aware on the long change. Make sure your line changes are solid. Make sure that, you don't get too many men on the ice. This second period usually is where those kind of mistakes will happen.
Grizzlies outscored the Rush 3-0 in the second period last night. We'll see what happens here this evening. The Grizzlies outscored the opposition by a +29 margin in the regular year last season. Utah wins the faceoff. They're skating from left to right as you hear it on YouTube, and you see it on Flow Sports as Nate Klerman, neutral ice, crosses center, dumps it in. Bouncing puck off the boards. Chekhylev will feed it over to the left side. Grizzlies with a good back check as Sekos to the shot, saved by Chekhylev. Rebound goes to Klerman again, bounces off his stick. As Klerman over to the right side regathers it. He'll throw it up top, but the puck lifted on Sekos, and he has to gather it at neutral ice. Sekos pulls it back into his own zone. He'll feed it to Klerman. Nate skates down the middle, veers off to the left. Now near Rapid City's bench. It's poked away onto Shearer. He'll feed it off the boards to center ice. Now Rapid City will toss it ahead. It's near Utah's bench. Now it goes back to the Rapid City blue line. Rush band on the pass. It rolls towards the left corner. As Sekos gets away from Koda, looks to center to Tardif. Now in front. Right. Oh, he had a chance out there, but it goes just wide out in front. Bartley over to McDonald. Connor over to Bartley, back to the captain. McDonald with a shot, a save, rebound, hacking away. Chekhylev in the area, and the puck goes back to the left corner. Right, over towards Betts, back to right. Cameron's his first name as he'll feed it over to the left side. Back to Betts, he gets it to Tardif left side, to the circle. He skates towards the goal line, tries to feed Betts out in front. It collides off the stick and Rapid City gathers it. As the Rush cross center ice, Max Koda, number 9, dumps it in. As the Rush make a line change, 1.5 minutes into the second period. McDonald to Tardif. He crosses center ice down the middle. Tardif surrounded by 4 Rush skaters. Over to the captain. Connor with a shot. Saved by Chekhylev. All right, goes wide. Grizzlies with another chance that goes wide as it rolls along the near boards.
Boy, more rebound control issues for the Rapid City Rush goaltender.
Bryson Martin crosses center ice, left wing. Wraps it around the boards. They hit off a stanchion. Smooth ride along to the near side. Rush have it. Tyson Helgeson, number 44. Gets it towards Yamamoto. Yamamoto gets it taken away. Grizzlies at center ice. Tyler Penner. He'll skate towards the right. Yamamoto cuts in front of him as Penner hits Yamamoto.
That's going to be a penalty,
according to the referee.
Yeah, that's going to be a cross check. And Penner, the puck is there. I'm surprised he's calling that a cross check. Well, that's a hard-working penalty.
And a guy like Ryan Knaswich, he's okay with that. If it's a penalty where you're just working hard and you don't get a call, he'll take. I think every coach would take that if it's just being aggressive.
Yeah. Well, here you go. And what did we talk about? Those long changes when you're killing penalties, pucks in, pucks out here. Very definitive play on the puck.
2 minutes for cross-checking. Tyler Penner is in a Rogers & Russell Legal Solutions holding cell. Rogers & Russell Legal Solutions reminds you that when life tries to put you in the penalty box, it is important you have the best legal counsel in your corner. Rogers & Russell Legal Solutions, so you can rest and relax. Grizzlies have taken the first 3 shots of this second period. Rush won the face-off. Wide open in the left side, Aliardi feeds out in front. Good job by Parik cutting it off as Simon Levine had it open out in front. Now to the right side. Rush outside far goal line. They look to center it. Shot, and it goes over the crossbar.
What a save. Wow.
That was Marciano out in front. Now the Rush try to feed it across to Aliardi. Grizzlies get a stick in the way, and it flies out of play off the protective netting.
Lukas Parik absolutely did the splits there to keep that puck out of the net. And then I don't know how that he got that puck to hit him, but that was a heck of a sequence. What a night Lukas Parik is putting together in goal for the Grizzlies.
Draw's going to be in the right circle. Rapid City on their last power play had a lot of offensive zone time. The Grizzlies find a way to win a face-off and clear it out. 1:37 left in the Rush power play. Utah leads 1-0, 17:31 left here in the second period. As the draw won by Rapid City, the Rush over to the right circle. Didn't get much on a pass. Was Nelson. It bounced off of McDonald. Now Connor tries to get it to Bartley. Now back to McDonald, and he'll clear it out. Good job by the Grizzlies captain. Chekhylev back to the near side. Will drop it off for Zolsdorf as Zolsdorf behind the Rapid City net. Rush skating from right to left in the second period. Zolsdorf gets to Cairns. Rory Cairns gets to the left side, back towards Aliardi. Cairns wraps it around the boards. Logan Nelson back around, goes past Cairns onto the left wing. As the Rush looking for a pass out in front. Betts takes it away, and clearing it out is Keaton Jamison.
Excellent job by Betts with the stick being active right there.
Rush back deep in their own zone. 50 seconds left in the power play, and less than 17 minutes left in the second period. As over to neutral ice, rush skate in. Max Cota skates down the middle, take a shot, and it goes high off the glass. Nikolaev over to Calder Brooks as he'll feed it towards the right side. Grizzlies up ahead. Utah's got a breakaway. Cam Strong skates down the middle, take a shot. Oh, and it goes just wide as he tried to go stick side on Chechelev, which is his left. He catches with his right. Cota comes back the other way to the corner. Grizzlies poke it away, but it stays in the corner. Utah fans on trying to clear it out. Now Fitz gets a second chance at it. He lifts it out of the zone all the way towards Chechelev.
10 seconds left in the kill here for the Grizzlies.
Simon Levine has it for Rapid City as the Grizzlies make another line change. Good penalty kill by Utah. Levine skates down the middle, now veers off to the right as he steps over the offensive line. Gets around Nilsson as Levine is over to the left side. Penner joins the play as Rapid City fires it across. Penner over to Tardif, 2-on-1. Tardif over to the left side, centers it to Penner. Penner with a shot on a rolls pass. Chechelev does it go in. Referee skates over there and says no goal.
Wow. What a pass. What a hustle play. So you have Ben Tardif streaming into the right side of the zone. Tyler Penner flying up the left side. Oh, look out here. Nelson goes after Tyler Penner. Betts steps in.
I think he might have thought the Rapid City skater that Penner got a little bit too close to his goaltender as Chechelev looked like he was trying to flex his leg a little bit.
Well, you can think that, but Tyler Penner has every right to be on that puck.
And it looked like it was starting to squirt past Chechelev. He dove at the last second and must not have crossed the goal line. No video replay either as off the draw. Martin with a shot that gets blocked. Now up ahead, racing after is Lukas Fuke. Fuke, number 11. He'll take a sharp angled shot and it hits the side of the net. As the Grizzlies come back up with it, Pfizer feeds a cross-ice pass to center ice, bounces off a Nilsson stick up ahead to Betts, who tries to toss it ahead. Betts looking for Tardif, pass behind him. As the Rush come back the other way, they cross center ice. Rush will backhand it deep in the Grizzlies zone. As Parik, wearing number 35, wraps it around. It goes to the right point. Zolsdorf keeps it in. He'll take a shot that gets blocked out in front of Parik. Grizzlies come back the other way since they're due for a line change as Tardif over to Pfizer. Back to Tardif as Tardif surrounded by 3 Rush skaters. And it pokes off the Tardif stick and goes to the corner. Tardif blasts himself off the glass as he was looking to hit Marchino or make that Yamamoto. Goes back to the center ice. McDonald dumps it back in. Sekos lets it go to right in the left point. Right fires it towards the net. It gets redirected by a Rapid City stick. As the Rush feed it out to center ice. Nice pass, but it bounced off the stick of Aliardi. Now the Grizzlies skate from left to right. McDonald along the near side. Connor skates along the wall as he'll feed it out towards center ice. It glances off the Sekos stick and flies into the Rush zone. Chechelev will feed it out to the far side. Sekos from the corner, and it bounced off the body. Now it rolls back to the corner as Jamison throws it up top for Bartley. He skates towards his right up top. Bartley with a shot that gets blocked out in front. Rebound goes to the left circle. Right near the boards, gets held up by Zolsdorf. He'll feed it to Jamison. Keaton with a shot, and that goes high. Stays in play, rolling around the glass.
Great keep.
Klerman kept it in the zone. He's got great hands and is a great skater. Klerman gets it in the right point. Feeds it across. Shearer tried to bounce it out in front. Rapid City gets over it. Utah drags down Rapid City, and that's going to be a call as Cameron Wright disagrees with the call.
Wow.
And Zolsdorf and Wright kind of got tangled up. Could have called it either way, but it looks like it's going to be on Cameron Wright, but he's going to skate towards the bench, and the linesman says, sorry, Cameron, let's go back this way.
See, I just think they both have a right to fight for that puck. You know, I mean, that's one of those calls that's like 50-50. Why, just let them play on there.
Could have been no call, or he could have called it on both guys.
Man, and again, you know, not that you want, I mean, the Grizzlies that was a great kill, number one. It gave you a lot of momentum, but man, just 2 in a row here, 2 penalties in the second period with the long change.
Time of penalties, 6:17 in. Utah still leads 1-0. We're back in 30 seconds on the Grizzlies Hockey Network. Grizzlies lead 1-0, 13:43 left to go here in the second period. Cameron Wright goes to the Rogers and Russell Legal Solutions holding cell. 2 minutes for tripping. Draw's going to be in the left circle. Calder Brooks will take it for the Rush, and Tyler Penner for the Grizzlies. Penner won about 60% of his faceoffs last season for Utah. As he crouches down low. And the draw won by the Grizzlies. As Shearer skates towards his net and whips it around the ice. And Chechlev will have to play it just to the side of his net as the Rush will start the attack from right to left.
Excellent clearance already by Shearer.
Grizzlies have outshot the Rush 4-2 in this second period. The Rush cross center ice. Now they gain the line. Brooks wide open. There's it off to the right side. Shot saved by Parik. Rebound goes to the left side. Coda throws it up top for Levine. He couldn't handle it cleanly. Utah gathers it. 2-on-2. Penner looks to center over to the left side. It kind of glanced off his stick. And Rapid City comes up with it as Penner was trying to hit Fitz, but Fitz couldn't collect the pass cleanly.
Yeah, Fitz never had a good rip at it.
Nikolaev crosses center ice. Skates into the right side. And he'll dump it in as the Rush. Back to Calder Brooks. Brooks over in the corner. He had an empty net goal last night up top for Simon Levine. He'll feed it to the right side. Rush get it back towards Coda, and the Grizzlies poke it away. Good job by Sekos as Coda couldn't handle the pass cleanly. Chechlev behind his net, and he'll hand deliver it over to Simon Levine. Actually, it's not hand delivered because they didn't get a stoppage of play on a hand pass, but the Rush get it out to center ice. Now towards Cairns. He crosses into the zone, left wing, shot, saved by Parik.
Man, he has been rock solid. I'm telling you, you look at some of the plays that the D-line is making tonight, and you look at guys like Victor Bartley, calm and collected in his own zone. You look at that keep by Klerman. I mean, you're just getting big performances on the blue line, and I don't know what else we can say about Lukas Parik. So far, he has been incredible. 12:28 to go in the second period. Grizzlies up 1-0, 46 seconds left on the penalty kill here.
Some of the Rush's best chances so far have been in the transition game. They haven't had too many of their good looks where they've settled into the offensive zone, worked it around, and then gotten a shot.
But look at what happened here. This is really smart out of Lukas Parik. He asked for a stick change, giving his guys more time to breathe.
I've seen Lukas Parik break more sticks here in 2 weeks of camp and the start of the regular season than any goaltender I've seen in a whole year. As Utah wins the face-off and fires it across ice.
Yeah, so true. Mason, the equipment manager, lets him know, too.
He might be out of sticks by game 10. As Rapid City crosses center ice, Zulsdorf drops it off, and Betts saw the play cleanly. Betts gets back checked by Zulsdorf, and Dakota Raby at neutral ice, so bouncing off the boards. Bartley peels back into his own zone, and he'll get it across to McDonald, and Connor will clear it back out. Great job by Kyle Betts anticipating what Rapid City wanted to do there. Rush out to center ice. Aliardi will get it across now towards Cairns, as Cairns gets it poked away but keeps it. McDonald in the area. McDonald with a good check. As the Rush roll it around, it's behind the net. Now right side, toe drag shot, saved by Parik. Out of the box is Cameron Wright, and he joins the play. As Logan Nelson loses the puck, pass ahead to Wright, he couldn't reach for it. And Quinn Wickers has it for Rapid City. As Wright now comes off the ice, as the Rush will throw it towards the Utah blue line, but it's Utah there with Ben Tardif. He'll feed it across. 11:20 left in the second period and counting. Utah still leads 1-0 as Taryn Pfizer got a power play goal 5.5 minutes into the first period. Pfizer has the puck. He gets around Wickers. And Johnny Walker with a hit about the same spot he hit Tyson Helgeson last night that started a fight. Rush. Keegan Iverson, number 13, second year with the Rush. He'll get to the right side. Tough angled shot. Glances off of Parik's glove. Puck ends up in the left corner as Rush get it to the slot, but it goes to the right point. Lefty shot is blocked as Yamamoto will feed it over towards the far side. Now it goes to the corner. Nilsson skates over there, tries to get it to Tardif, but Nilsson will get around to skate. Nilsson at neutral ice will feed it ahead. Johnny Walker dumps it in as Nilsson comes off the ice at the end of his shift. As Chechlev behind his net will wrap it around the boards. It exits the zone as Utah makes a line change of their own. As Grizz run after it. We're about halfway through the scheduled 60 minutes as Nate Klerman to the right side, skates towards the corner. Now Klerman around the net, feeds it to Raby. Back to Klerman, he's now on the left point, skates towards his right, he'll take a shot. Glove saved by Chechlev. He'll give way on the rebound to Rapid City. Rush off the near boards. Brooks steps over the blue line, feeds it across to Nikolaev. He'll take a lefty shot, saved by Parik. And Lukas hasn't allowed many second chances as he holds on to that one halfway through the scheduled 60 minutes. 10:03 left in the second. Utah's got a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Lukas Parik, his rebound control has been very good, and Chechelev's has not. There was another big rebound right out into the slot, and luckily for them, the Rush were able to clear it.
Draw's going to be in the right circle. Both teams have taken 14 shots. Both teams had 8 shots in the first, and both with 6 here so far in the second. Draw won by Rapid City. They're in the offensive zone as Reinhardt fakes a shot, rolls it around, cut off by Klurman. Nate ahead to Raby. Raby feeds it across, picked off by Aliardi. They still get it into the Grizzlies zone, but it's taken back by Klurman. Now Fitz just outside the blue line takes a shot and it goes over Chechelev's glove and off the glass. Puck in the Grizzlies offensive point. Rapid City pokes it back and dumps it into their offensive zone. Now around the net, the Rush. Feed it over to the left corner as Rapid City skates towards the point. Quinn Wickers with a blast, kick saved by Parik. Rebound goes to Raby. Dakota gets pinned along the boards by Reinhardt as the puck ends up in the left corner. Rapid City, Aliardi over to Wickers, who feeds it back to the corner that Aliardi had vacated. Now it goes back to Utah. James Schur behind his net as the Rush will change up skaters. A little more than 9 minutes left in the second period. Utah still up by 1.
Shearer just calmly waiting for his mates to get on the ice here for a change as he stands dead behind his own net.
Up ahead, Grizzlies have a pass that connects. Jamison over to the left side. He'll skate into the slot, rolls towards Chechelev, and bounces off the stick onto the end wall. As the Grizzlies, Zach Secco skates towards the left side, gets around a skater. He's just outside the circle, stops in the corner, skates back towards the point, gets to Bartley. Now McDonald, high slot shot, saved by Chechelev. Rebound goes to Wickers, who will bounce it off the glass and out to center ice. Grizzlies have a poke back to the near side for Bartley, and Victor will feed it across to Connor McDonald. McDonald out to center ice, pass picked off by Calder Brooks. Utah picks it back off, and they'll throw it into the offensive zone. Sekos races to the right corner. He looks like he's towards the end of his shift as he gets held up by Zolsdorf right in the area as Cameron Wright skates around the net. He'll feed it up top for Bartley on the left. Bartley back to the circle, trying to get it back to Bartley on the give and go. Now to McDonald. He'll take a shot from the right side, and that goes wide. And the puck ends up going out to center ice. As Wright will feed it back to Bartley. Now ahead to center ice. Cam Strong over to Wright. He's got plenty of room to the right side. As Wright, he gets cut off. And a big defensive play, and Wright goes blasting into the boards.
How is there not a penalty?
As Levine just fired right into the boards. No call. As Wright will skate gingerly towards the bench as he got blasted by Simon Levine.
How?
Grizzlies dump it in. Penner in the corner as we get a whistle. And Johnny Walker wants to go after somebody. As now we got a big-time argument over in the right corner. Nobody's dropped the gloves yet.
Well, when you don't blow the whistle on a hit like that, this is what happens. Unbelievable.
Hopefully Wright will be okay as he got thrown into the right corner of the Rapid City zone.
That had to be a cross or boarding, one of the two. I mean, that was a nasty, nasty hit. Bryson Martin in the middle of that. Johnny Walker in the middle of that. I mean, my goodness, Cam Strong's out there. And Johnny Walker's going to go to the box here.
Walker wanted a piece of Levine after the hit. Walker's going to the box. Levine is skating towards the bench. And now it looks like Andrew Nelson wants to get after it. Kenton Helgeson and Nelson. Nelson drops the gloves and he throws it right on Helgeson. And the linesmen step in as Nelson threw a right on Helgeson.
And how is Helgeson on the ice at this point? He was not on the ice previously. There is an altercation. He is not allowed to be on the ice here. This should be an instigator. This should absolutely be an extra penalty.
His brother Tyson Helgeson got a 2-minute instigator in the second period last night. Kenton Helgeson will drop the gloves about 4 or 5 times a year. As now they're separated. Nelson has some words for Helgeson. Nelson's pretty much saying, bring it on. Helgeson's being separated by the linesman. Nelson skates towards the penalty box, so does Helgeson. Helgeson with 2 arms in the air as both guys go to the box, and they're probably going to continue their conversation. 7:36 left in the second period, and action is starting to heat up here at Maverik Center with Utah up 1-0.
Well, you got to get an extra 2 minutes here. It has to happen. I mean, if there's not an instigator here, And again, the reason I say that is that was not Helgeson's shift. Helgeson was not on the ice there. And if you come on the ice during an altercation, you cannot come off the bench during an altercation. Whether the whistle's blown or not, you just can't have it.
Johnny Walker and Andrew Nilsson having a conversation with Kenton Helgeson, as all of those guys are in the penalty box right now. I think the thing, though, is you got 2 Grizzlies in the box and you got 1 for Rapid City.
Well, that could very well be evened here.
Looks like Walker's got 2 minutes on the scoreboard clock.
Yeah, that probably means offsetting.
It's possible that Helgeson and Nilsson are offsetting, and they give Walker 2 for a similar situation that happened in the second period last night. They gave Tyson Helgeson an instigator. Does Johnny Walker get 1?
Well, listen, this is a very difficult game to officiate. There's a lot of things officials don't see, but when you don't make calls, it's not, if you make a bad call, it's going to happen, right? You're going to not see things.
Yep.
In this league, the ECHL is trying to institute more and more 2 official crews.
That will be in about 25% of the games this year.
Yep, and I mean, they're really working on it. It's a hard game to officiate, but it's the calls you do not make. You don't raise the arm, it creates a problem. Is the official's going to come over and talk to Ryan Kanasowicz here? But I just am really surprised that you're not getting an instigator here. It was not his shift.
I think Kanasowicz is a little bit puzzled as to how, out of all of that, looks like Rapid City is going to have a power play.
And how do you not call a boarding or a rough in the corner there? I mean, it was blatant. How you missed that call is what's surprising to me. That's what I don't understand. And again, it's a really, we have very hardworking officials in this league. But man, I just can't believe you don't see that.
Well, I think of all the rules, boarding might be one of the toughest ones to judge. Was it a good clean hit in the boards, or was it boarding? That's probably tough in real time.
Well, but generally, the way that you handicap that call as a hockey official is, if you have a defender, if you have the guy going in to make the hit and the offender's back is to him. So if you hit somebody in the back going into the boards, that is boarding. And because it's a very dangerous play. I don't think there's nobody doubts that. When you get cross-checked into the boards or hit into the boards behind, you're looking at career-threatening injuries there.
Looks like the penalties, Helgeson and Nilsson each get 5 minutes for fighting. Walker's 2 minutes is for roughing.
Well, that's a gift to the Rapid City Rush. And my guess is that they don't see that Helgeson came off the bench there.
I think that's going to be Rapid City's 3rd power play of the second period.
Yeah, absolutely right. In the second period with the long change. And listen, Johnny Walker isn't a guy that generally is on the kill, but Andrew Nielsen's a guy that plays some special teams. Those are not 2 insignificant guys that you have there.
Rush are 0 for 3 on the power play so far tonight, and the Grizzlies 1 for 2. And that's the difference in the game, as Kenton Tyron Pfizer scored 5:23 into the first period. It's been a very spirited game. It was a long conversation between the referee and Ryan Kanasowicz, and now it's a pretty long conversation between the referee and Scott Burt.
If you are Scott Burt, what could you be complaining about here? What could you be, of anything, what could you complain about here?
Well, he does have a power play now, as Matt Marshall will take the face-off against Tyler Penner. Dylan Fitz also out there. Watch out for Fitz and Penner, and watch out for the Grizzlies shorthanded. It looks like they've been pretty aggressive on the PK tonight on the other end. If Rapid City's defensemen don't get back, those 2 guys up top, Grizzlies can take advantage. As off the boards, Rapid City around towards the left side and back towards the goal line. As Marchneau over in the corner feeds it behind the net to Cairns, back to Marchneau as he's on the right side just outside the circle. Marchneau back to Cairns, who's now at the far goal line, and Marchneau feeds it up top for Zulsdorf. Now to Aliardi on the left side. He'll get it across, right side shot, that one gets blocked as puck ends up in the corner. Grizzlies fanned on trying to clear it out. 2 Grizzlies and 2 Rush, and a scrum over in the right corner as over towards Strong. Fitz in the area. They're still battling in the corner. Fitz fanned on clearing it back to the other corner. Now he gets it and clears it back to the left side as it stays in the Grizzly zone. I shouldn't have said clears it. As it rolls towards the right side. Rush with a lefty shot, and he scores for the 2nd straight game. Rory Cairns has lit the lamp. Cairns got his first pro goal last night, and he has scored on a wrister from the right circle. As it's a power play tally, and the Rush have tied it up.
Yeah, boy, and the Rush love that, obviously. Man.
Well, puck was in the corner for quite a while, and then behind the net, and it kind of chipped from the left corner behind the goal line onto Cairns, and he was on the right side, had plenty of room, and fired away as he's a smooth lefty, 20 years old. He's got an NHL entry-level deal with the Calgary Flames.
Yeah. But now it's going to be a battle.
We're back to 5-on-5 skating as Grizzlies have it at their defensive line. Now Rapid City takes it away. Nikolaev skates towards his left. He'll take a shot, glancing off of Parik's glove. Rush have it in the right point. Rapid City, Logan Nelson with a shot. Glove saved by Parik. It bounces off his glove. Now the Rush look to center it. Stays in the corner. Good job by Betts, who's been a great two-way forward tonight. Over to Nikolaev. He'll feed it back around towards Reinhart. He'll spin it back to the left corner. Grizzlies skate over there. As Connor McDonald has it. He was trying to get it to Pfizer. Stayed in as McDonald didn't want to lift it and maybe try to get a delay of game or something. Up ahead to Rush center it. Grizzlies gather it and will clear it out to center ice. Rush feed it back to center ice. Pass bounces off the Coda stick onto Victor Bartley. Less than 6 minutes left in the second period. We're tied at 1. As Rory Cairns got a power play goal, 13-18 in. Tardif feeds it across the right. He crosses center ice. Wright gets blasted once again. That time by Tyson Helgeson. Wright gets back to his feet. Gingerly again, though. As puck ends up at neutral ice. Dakota Raby has it. Wright stays on the ice. He looks like he's shown some toughness. And Connor McDonald told me that yesterday when I talked to him at morning skate. As Grizzlies dump it in. Reinhart gets hit by Sekos as the Rush. Over to the left circle. Fight. Wright looking for a shot and swung and missed. Cairns, the goal scored, skates in left side. He gets cut off by Bryson Martin. Martin gets blasted along the glass. Arm is raised by the referee. It's going to be a penalty on Rapid City. Wright has a glance off his stick onto Chechelev, and it's going to be a delayed penalty. The whistle blows. And looks like the Grizzlies are going to get a power play. With 4:56 left in the second.
Well, I mean, you could feel that coming. The Rapid City Rush, and Martin's going to go to the box here. The Rapid City Rush have been taking real advantage, and probably liberty is more the right word. And finally, the arm goes up, and the Utah Grizzlies will move on to the Power 8 power play, tied at 1.
John Martin goes to the Rogers and Russell Legal Solutions holding cell. 2 minutes for roughing. Time of penalty 15:04. We'll tell you what the Grizzlies power play looks like when we come back in 30 seconds. We're tied at 1 on the Grizzlies Hockey Network. Tied at 1. Grizzlies are going to be on the power play as John Martin, number 71, gets 2 minutes for roughing. And Monty, I think you want to get the lead heading into the third period. We always see that the team leading after second, the second period always has a great record. Grizzlies only lost 1 game when leading after 2. So for this, it's a big power play. Yeah, the Power 8 power play for the Utah Grizzlies. And it's one of those moments in time where you feel like if you can get a goal here, you can kill this momentum. The Rapid City Rush have had a lot of momentum in the last 5 minutes. Feel like if you can get a goal here, you can kill that. Draw's going to be in the left circle. Good crowd here on a Saturday night, and it's been fired up here throughout. Boy, a lot of spirit between this rivalry between the Grizzlies and the Rush. As the linesmen drop the puck. I think there's a different protocol they had in who drops their stick first. I think it's gotten confused a little bit. The linesman wants to enforce it the best he can. Grizzlies win the draw. I'll get some more clarification on that before the next game. As Tardif on the right side gets over to Pfizer. Pfizer near the boards, trying to get it back to Tardif. Now it goes to Tardif. Over to Pfizer near the boards, back to Tardif. He's on the right side. Tardif switches places with Pfizer. Tardif with a shot, saved by Chechelev. And the rebound is Tardif rolls it back around. Victor Bartley tried to keep it in, and the puck bounced on him. One-on-one, Calder Brooks to the right side. Pfizer in the area. Brooks didn't have the angle on Parik, and Brooks looked for a tough angled shot and swung and missed. Good defensive play by Taron Pfizer. Tardif around his net. 1:20 left in the Grizzlies power play. 4:15 and counting left in the second. As Tardif, patient with his approach, gets over to Pfizer. Pfizer still deep in his own zone. kind of interesting to see two forwards quarterbacking this power plays. Bartley gets it over to Pfizer. Pfizer off the boards, pass behind Tardif, and Rapid City clears it to center ice. Bartley nudges it ahead to Betts, but the Grizzlies are offside as Tardif was trying to exit the zone and Betts was entering with the puck. And the linesman said that Tardif didn't exit the zone before Betts re-entered.
Man, you know what? You just got to keep rolling here. You just got to keep playing your game.
Draws it neutral ice.
Yeah, Grizzlies are close here. Just keep playing your game. Zekos to take the draw.
Grizzlies got a new set of skaters. Watch out for Cameron Wright. He's on the right side. He could get his first professional goal right here. As the draw won by Utah. Cameron Wright to the right side, enters the zone, gets to Clerman. Clerman rolls it around the boards. Bryson Martin in the area. Bounces off of Martin as the Rush tried to clear it out. Now Clerman in the right side. Stops near the board. Skates back to the point. Clerman now veers to his left, gets it to Bryson Martin. Martin wearing number 14 gets it back to Clerman. Clerman skates towards his right, gets it over to right on the right side. He's got plenty of room. He'll take a shot, save, rebound, shot. Bounced off Chechelev as Jamison was looking for the second chance. Martin, left side, plenty of room, skates towards the circle, gets it across to right, but it glanced off his stick. Right regathers it, throws it up top for Clerman. Clerman over to Martin. He winds and fires. Got blocked. As puck ends up in the corner, Rapid City clears it out. Grizzlies make a line change. Some good opportunities there for Wright, but Chechelev made the save, but it was really the second chance by Jamison.
Yes, absolutely right. He was camped in front of the net.
Raby crosses center ice, gains the line as he veers off to the left. Raby skates towards the corner, Rush poke it away. Rapid City's back at full strength as John Martin races towards the puck, but Utah gets there first. Rink-wide pass bounces off of Penner's stick, a little bit of the end boards, rolls towards Chechelev. He'll give way to Quinn Wickers. He'll feed it to center ice for Martin just out of the penalty box across to Cairns. Cairns will take a lefty shot. Saved by Parik on there. It looked like somebody ran into Parik.
Charged him.
Boy, now we got a lot of action out in front. This thing could potentially get out of hand.
This is Rapid City's doing. This is very clearly an effort to be more physical than the Grizzlies. Absolutely ran the goaltender there.
I think they want to rattle Parik. That might be part of their game plan.
Yeah, absolutely. That's got to be a 2-minute penalty.
I think it was Keegan Iverson that got a little
Absolutely, it was
to Parik.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And what did you say about Iverson? Why does he not play every night? Because he's not a skilled player. He's a guy who has a purpose and a job. And his job tonight right there was to fully run Lukas Parik, and now he's going to go sit. Now you got to punish him. 2:37 to go in the second period, 1-1. Both teams have 17 shots. It's been a very equal hockey game, but you got to take advantage of this.
Iverson's in the box. Kenton Helgeson's still in there with his fighting major. Nilsson is in the box for Utah. It's another Grizzlies power play. 2:37 left here in the second period. And the Grizzlies had an outstanding record when leading after two. They only lost one game when leading after two last season. So it's certainly big if the Grizzlies can find a way to get a lead going into intermission. Rush win the face-off, but it's Utah that has it as Betts gets over to Bartley as Pfizer in the left corner as he gets blasted by Tyson Helgeson. As Fitz over there as well. You can normally see Fitz camped out in front of the net. Betts battling along the boards with Max Coda. Boy, Betts is a strong player. Now Pfizer has it. Betts is winning all the 50-50 pucks tonight. Grizzlies get it across the Tardif. He winds and fires. Saved by Chechelev. Some action out in front, but Rapid City protects their goaltender, and it doesn't look like any skirmish breaking out there as looked like Tardif tried to go 5-4 on Chechelev.
Well, because we know that no respectable hockey player would run the goaltender. I mean, you can see exactly what the Rapid City Rush are trying to do. Work the officials, be very physical, take high shots, take advantage where you can. It's not rocket science what they're trying to do here.
Draw's going to be in the right circle. Watch out for Taran Pfizer. He's on the ice. Still in Fitz to the left. Fitz and Betts both could be out there in front of the net. Fitz redirected a couple late last season. As the draw won by Betts and the Grizzlies. Nilsson feeds it across. Nilsson fresh out of the box. Nilsson with a blast. That one gets blocked. And the Rush are able to clear it out. And that one was blocked by, I believe, Marchino, number 22.
Yeah, and he
limped to the bench.
Yeah, he's worse for wear on that one. That's Andrew Nielsen's heavy shot, too.
Tardif Right wing pass to Pfizer. Pfizer steps over the blue line. Fitz gets it to the slot. Now back over to the right side for Tardif, but it rolls to the corner. Betts has it pick out to the end wall. Rapid City feeds it to the right point. Tardif kept it in. Betts throws it to Pfizer right side. He'll look for a centering pass, and Fitz swung and missed as the centering pass did get through to Fitz. Now it rolls back to the right side. Tardif with a shot. Stick saved by Chechelev. Tardif gets it back off the rebound. He looked to find it up top, and Rapid City cut in front of him.
Oh, that's
Utah's
a
hit with
high stick.
and the referee spotted it. Grizzlies.
Oh, and he
Taryn
looks he's
Pfizer,
bleeding.
he got hit with a high stick. That could be 4 minutes.
Yeah, he looks
with the
like he's
blood.
cut. Yeah, it's 4
It
minutes.
is 4 minutes.
It's going to be 4 minutes. He is cut. Colin is out there, the Grizzlies trainer, as Pfizer's got a towel over his face, and now it's going to be about a 39-second two-man advantage, and then a double minor for high sticking. And all of a sudden, opportunity presents itself again for the Utah Grizzlies.
Ilya Nikolaev, the 21-year-old from Russia, he gets the double minor for high sticking. Time of penalty 18:45 in. Taryn Pfizer was at center ice as the Rush were able to successfully clear it out of the zone, and Pfizer just got hit with a high stick around the center ice logo.
I mean, it's not reckless. It's just not smart. That lacking of stick control. They were essentially even, and he tried to lift Taryn Pfizer's stick, missed, and hit Pfizer right in the mouth.
5-on-3 power play for 39 seconds. We'll see if the Grizzlies can find a way to get the lead here. The tough thing, though, with Pfizer getting cut there on the face, that he's not out there for this shift.
Yeah.
Draw one by Utah as Jamison, who replaces. Jamison gets hit hard and loses his helmet. He has to skate off the ice. Bartley over to Tardif. Fitz replaces Jamison. Tardif on the right side. He'll take a shot. Stick saved by Chechelev. Rebound goes to the corner as Sekos. Fitz and Rapid City clears it out. 10 seconds left in the 5-on-3. Parik way out of his net to try to get the outlet pass. He'll feed it to Tardif. Ben steps over the line right side. Now Sekos. Back to Tardif as Iverson's out of the box. He'll join the play. Sekos feeds it out across to right. Saved by Chechelev. Puck to the left side. Bartley over to right. He's just outside the left circle. Up top for Bartley. He'll feed it to the right side for Tardif. He'll take a shot. That's blocked by Wickers. Tardif up top for Bartley. 18 seconds left in the period. Over to right shot. Oh, they got redirected and just missed.
Oh, that almost deflected right into the net off of Fitzy's skate.
Coda has the puck. 1-on-3. Skates down the middle. Grizzlies poke it back to the corner. 5 seconds left in the period. As Grizzlies still in their own zone. They'll get it to Wright as time runs out on the second period. Wright with one final shot. Chechelev makes a glove save. And that does it for 2 periods of play. Remember, the Grizzlies will be on the power play the first 2 minutes and 45 seconds of the
some more
third
talking
period.
here.
Dylan Fitz and Kenton Helgeson chatting it up.
Bartley's out there now. Cam Wright's along the wall here.
Tyson Helgeson having some words with the Grizzly.
Are you sure it's a Helgeson? That's shocking. Man, they have been busy tonight for the Rush. There is just a lot of barking.
These two
Walker's
teams simply
in there.
don't like each other. The Grizzlies not going to the dressing room, and neither are the Rush.
The official is warning them. I mean, you're close. This is going to be a heck of a third period. Do not go anywhere. Do not go anywhere, because I'll tell you what, Lukas Parik has been outstanding tonight. 16 of 17, 1-1 after 2. Good night, Tyson. What a third period we have ahead.
That was a fun second period. Grizzlies led 1-0 after 1. Rapid City got the only goal in the second. It was a tie game, 3-3 after last night, and we got a tie score after 2 periods. Rush goal in the second. Rory Cairns 13-18 in, with the assist going to Ryan Zolsdorf. And we'll check on that second assist later on. Nevertheless, it's 1-1. We'll come back and recap the second period and talk some hockey on the other side. It's the second intermission brought to you by Siegfried and Jensen. The intermission report is coming up next on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
Maverik's new bean-to-cup machines always deliver a freshly ground cup of coffee on demand, so you can enjoy any of our premium roasts at their best, day or night, hot or iced. Enjoy a fresh cup today.
They always say there's a little bit of heat when the Grizzlies face the Rush, and it seems like that is picked up here in the second period. I'm Tyson Whiting here, high top section 114. Monty's on the Grizzlies bench. As it looks like we got a dance here, and you're seeing it on YouTube. Now, of course, during the game, Flow Sports got the exclusive video, so that's why you're seeing me during the game action. During the intermission, you can watch the entertainment. And on YouTube, watch Viva Chile. As it looks like they're going to have a presentation here at Maverik Center. A lot of fun stuff happening in and around the arena. And if you're at Maverik Center during game nights, go to the team store because Jeff Renier's got a lot of stuff lined up. They've even got the look of the new Grizzlies jersey, the new alternate, which is I think a navy blue.
Yes.
With a little bit of red piped in. I saw it in Brian Pruch's office a couple days ago, and it is going to be quite the look.
Yeah, and it's very similar to the Colorado Eagles and Colorado Avalanche colorway. It's got that red to it, if you will. I don't know. What do you call that? Maroon, red?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Kind of a maroon.
There you go. It's a beautiful jersey. I'm telling you, I know I said it last night on the show, but absolutely the colors and the jerseys this year are spectacular. But I got to tell you, this Viva Chile show looks to be spectacular. Wow.
We're tied at 1. Taryn Pfizer got Utah on the board, 5:23 into the first. We'll keep an eye just to see if he comes out for the third. He did get hit with that high stick, I imagine, a couple stitches or something, and he'll be ready to go. I'm pretty sure Colin Lee, the Grizzlies trainer, will look after him. Remember, the Grizzlies will be on the power play for 2 minutes and 45 seconds to start the third period. On the Pfizer goal, Tardif and Andrew Nilsson with the assist. Tardif has an assist in each of the first 2 games here in this season. In both games here in the series, Andrew Nilsson is first helper of the year. Utah led 1-0 after 1. Both teams had 8 shots on goal. The only goal scored by either side in the second, Rory Cairns, who has a goal in back-to-back games. Alex Aliardi and Ryan Solsdorf with the assist. And how about this for the face-off battle? I always think that winning the face-offs is instrumental. In the second period, the Grizzlies won the face-off battle 10-4.
Wow. That's kind of nutty.
And it's really guys like Kyle Betts and Tyler Penner who have taken a lot of draws. And I got to say, even though it hasn't necessarily showed up on the stat sheet, the two-way game of Kyle Betts, winning 50-50 pucks along the boards, winning face-offs. Kyle Betts has played an outstanding game tonight.
Yeah, and you know, I've spent a lot of time talking with Betsy, as he's affectionately known. Kyle Betts is a really smart guy, really smart hockey player, has a very level, has a very level nature about him. His emotions are in control. I mean, he is a really good addition to this club.
Cameron Wright and Ben Tardif each lead the way with 5 shots. Boy, it feels like Wright had some really close calls there in the second period. He was also played very physically. I imagine Rapid City scouting report on Wright is to try to rough him up a little bit. And that hit right there in the right corner about 2/3 of the way through the second period really lit the building up.
Well, and I think you're seeing that the Rapid City Rush realize that they don't have the legs to skate with the Grizzlies. So, you know, they're going to send their guys out here to be physical. They're going to send their guys out here to really get after it. And I'm not surprised at all that they wound up running the goaltender. I'm not surprised at all that, you're seeing Cam Wright get hit high and driven into the boards on that opportunity in the corner. And, I mean, that's going to be the third period. This is a very close hockey game. And I think Rapid City, Tyson, is fine to take the risk because they feel like they can slow the Grizzlies down with that type of physical play.
And a look at the Rush roster. They got a lot of guys 6'2" and taller. All but one defenseman for Rapid City. Ryan Solsdorf's 5'11". The other defensemen Rapid City have are 6'3" and above. So you think about their skilled forwards, and they want to complement that with a lot of beef on the back end.
Well, they're certainly doing that. You just don't run the goaltender. I mean, it's just something you do not do in our game. Like in hockey, you just don't do it.
And if you're a defenseman, you know, if that's your goalie that's getting run, then you've got to do what you can to protect your goaltender.
Yeah, and it just is. I don't know how else to describe it, but to say it's just not cool, bro. Like you that's just not something in hockey that you do. When you rush the goaltender, when you run the goaltender like that, it's such a huge risk of injury, man. You know, like you just don't do that. And I don't know how else to say that, but this is already a dangerous sport. When you rush the goaltender, when you make the play that they made on Cam right in the corner where you run him into the boards after his shot, you're risking injury. And it says that you don't care. And there's a certain level of professionalism where you do not go out of your way to hurt your fellow hockey player. And that's just the Rush don't seem to play by those rules.
Yeah. And, you know, it's like it's the old hockey code. I mean, you got to protect yourself, and really you almost have to protect your opponents, because if you don't, if you're going to be the one that's going to run the goalie, then, you know, a few minutes later, you know, the other team might get you back.
Yeah, and that's what but you said it earlier. I mean, you hit the nail on the head as usual, Tyson. It's why you're the best. I mean, that's who Iverson is. He's not he's not a first, second, third line guy. He's a kind of sort of, he's dressed, okay, let's have him go out there and start trouble. And that's exactly what he did tonight.
Iverson's a big guy, 6'2", 208 pounds, a former third-round pick of the New York Rangers back in 2014. Let's get to some other games in the league. We'll talk about later on in the intermission what's going to make the difference in tonight's game, as Rapid City won 5-3 last night. Can the Grizzlies find a way to even the score and split the two games here at Maverik Center? Utah will be on the road next week in Boise, Idaho. You talk about a great rivalry between the Grizzlies and Rush.
Can't
Grizzlies
wait.
And Steelheads. A great rivalry. I know a lot of Grizzlies fans make that 5-hour drive out to Boise, and hopefully there'll be a lot of Grizzlies fans over in Boise next weekend.
The only thing good about that trip, Tyson, is one, the hotel is spectacular, and two, there's Jack in the Box in Boise. What's not to like?
I like a steakhouse, Lock, Stock, and Barrel. If you're in Boise,
yes.
Lock,
Yes.
Stock, and Barrel is an outstanding steakhouse.
Yes, me and Mrs. Monty have been there multiple times. Yes, sir. Look at you. Look at my guy, Tyson Whiting, cultured, a restaurant aficionado.
No, Adrian Denny just talked about constantly, so we went there for a couple years when we were tag teaming. Speaking of the Idaho Steelheads, they got a 6-4 victory over the Iowa Heartlanders. Former Grizzly Matthew Boucher scored a third-period goal for Iowa. Looks like Smith had 2 goals for the Heartlanders. Colton Keller had 2 goals for Idaho. That's going to be a fun series between the Grizzlies and the Steelheads next weekend, next Friday and Saturday, here on YouTube and Flow Sports. Other games in action, we'll keep an eye on the Mountain Division in particular, where the Allen Americans, as we got musical chairs, and boy, it never fails to have an interesting finish with musical chairs.
Well, when you have 4 kids who are probably, what do you think, 10 years old?
Yeah, probably.
They don't care about their face hitting the ice.
Yeah, they're just going to go all out.
Let me kick this chair out of this kid's way. I want that free puck. I'm going to risk a concussion for a free puck.
Anything for a free puck.
Oh, and of course one of them is crying. Oh.
Well, got to do what you got to do to get the puck. Maybe it's the person that didn't get the puck that was kind of wishing that they did.
Oh, the innocence of youth. I'm sorry to react and cut you off. Please finish.
That's all right. I was just going to say that Allen defeated Wichita 5-4. Allen goes to 1-1 on the season. Wichita falls to 0-1. Former Grizzly Evan Beitenheis was in net and stopped 19 of 24. Looks like Allen actually had a pretty good lead of 5-2. And then Wichita scored 2 unanswered late to make it interesting. Stephon Fournier had 2 goals for Wichita. He's been there, it seems like, for many years. Looks like a few new names on the Allen roster. Colton Sossaman had 2 goals and 1 assist, was the #1 star for Allen. Allen over Wichita 5-4. Kansas City defeats Tulsa 5-3, the final there. Tulsa goes to 1-1 on the season. Kansas City wins their season opener. Nick Canape got the game winner 17:03 into the third period. Jimmy Soper had a goal for the Oilers in the loss. Cincinnati blows out Fort Wayne 7-2. As Cincinnati wins their opener, Fort Wayne falls to 0-2. Toledo over Wheeling 5-3. Worcester over Adirondack 5-4. The Savannah Ghost Pirates in their first game ever, they get a 5-4 overtime victory over Greenville. Indy defeats Kalamazoo 5-3. Jacksonville over Orlando 5-2. Florida gets their first win of the season. The defending champs defeated Atlanta 5-3. South Carolina open up a can on Norfolk 8-1. The Trois Rivières Lions defeat Maine 3-2. Remember, the Lions will be at Maverik Center for a 3-game set Thanksgiving weekend. And Newfoundland defeats Reading in overtime 4-3.
Hey, by the way, big shout out to our producer Guy tonight, sitting up top there with you, Tyson, doing a great job. Have a new setup, as all of you watching on YouTube are well aware. And Guy's done a great job helping us get that set up and executing it the last 2 nights. So always like to point out the guys behind the scenes.
Yeah, it's great that Guy's here, because if not, I would have found a way to screw it up myself. So Guy's doing a great job here. Also got Kiki on press row. She's with us all season long as well. Kiki's going to write the post-game story that you can read at UtahGrizzlies.com. That's after the game, as Roger Orr, the off-ice official, hands out some stat sheets. And really, when you look at the Grizzlies out shooting the rush 22-17, Ben Tardif leads the way with 6 shots on goal. It almost feels like, even though Tardif does have an assist in both games, it feels like Ben Tardif is due to score a big goal here in the third period.
Yeah, and they're going to need it. This is going to be a really chippy third period, I think. I mean, you know, this Grizzlies team is never going to be the biggest team. You're never going to be the most physical team, right? But they're so skilled. Teams like Rapid City, you know, you cannot keep up with the Grizzlies. I mean, Tyson, speed kills in this game. You know that. And the Grizzlies are clearly faster and probably an inch more skilled than Rapid City. And I think what you're seeing is the big size and the physicality of Rapid City. They're trying to leverage that. And I don't think there's any doubt that Ryan Kanasowicz is going to have an answer in this period. I mean, I think you're going to see Andrew Nielsen, guys like Johnny Walker. If they have to respond, those are the guys you're going to see it come from, because you're not going to see Ben Tardif, you know, risking his hands, risking his safety, getting involved with Rapid City Rush tough guys. You're just not going to see that. So it's going to be interesting to see what Coach K comes out with here and what he decides to do and how he's going to combat this, because Rapid City's not going to stop. I mean, I think we all know what their tactics are going to be here in the third.
And you know you're going to have to earn it, because Rapid City hasn't had many giveaways. They've only had 2 giveaways here through 2 periods. The Grizzlies 4 giveaways. Power play shots, Grizzlies 8, Rapid City 7. And you think about the first 5 minutes, I'm thinking about the first 2 minutes and 45 seconds of the third period. That's where the Grizzlies were on the power play, as it was a double minor for high sticking, as Ilya Nikolaev hit Taran Pfizer about center ice.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I think your point about Pfizer, my guess, he's a gamer. I mean, Taran Pfizer is a tough kid. My guess is he'll be back out here. He's got the goal tonight, which is not surprising, so I think he'll be back out. It'll be interesting to see what Rapid City does here, because they got a pretty stern warning from the official tonight ending this period. You just cannot continue to let them run roughshod into the corners and into Lukas Parik's crease. I mean, at some point that's going to cost them. And you know what, Tyson, if I'm the Utah Grizzlies, I'm getting every puck to the net that I can, because Chichlev has not had the best rebound control. We've seen it several times with pucks off the pads. You know, there's a simple axiom in hockey is, you know, pass the puck off his pads, because that's essentially what you're doing. When you throw that puck to the net and it hits his pads and it bounces out into the slot, eventually that's gonna go in. And the funny thing is, what did the Utah Grizzlies work on in morning skate today? Banging pucks off of the pads, because you need to force him to be better with rebound control, because he has not been very good with rebound control at all for the Rapid City Rush.
Jamison late in the second period, right there about the last minute, had a good rebound chance in the second look, and you know, maybe that's where Rapid City, they got the big defenseman where they're just going to try to find a way to get in front of the crease and box Utah out. I know the one thing, the Grizzlies, if they're going to get 2 standings points tonight, they're going to have to earn it, and you know, it probably starts here with that power play to start the third period. We'll come back in 1 minute, and we'll have that third period. As we're tied at 1, this intermission report brought to you by Siegfried & Jensen, the law firm for accident victims, and they've been around for a long time. They're the biggest name in Utah. Siegfried & Jensen intermission report. Our third period action coming up next on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
If you're out driving and something happens to your car, truck, or even wheelchair, and you end up stuck at a rail crossing, it's going to be okay. Don't panic. Here's what you do. Get out if you can and look for this blue sign on the metal pole. Call the number on the blue sign, and when they answer, tell them the crossing number. The number is right here. This tells them the exact location of the crossing. This is the fastest way to get trains stopped before coming through the crossing. Look for the blue. It helps.
Third, the Grizzlies and Lukas Parik facing his former team, the Rapid City Rush. He was their starter last year and had a record of 14-8-8. He had 2 shutouts against the Grizzlies, and he played in 5 of the 6 playoff games that determined the Mountain Division Championship. Utah won that best-of-7 series 4 games to 2, and he's looked solid in net, stopping 16 of 17. The only goal he allowed was by Rory Cairns, who scored from the right side, and that was... Really, think about the difference in the game is Cairns with a power play goal, Pfizer with a power play goal. The special teams have decided both goals in this game. And Monty, I think here in the first 2 minutes and 45 seconds could end up, I think set the tone for the rest of this game.
Oh, absolutely. And you look at who's on the ice right now. It's going to be Bartley, Nielsen, Betts, Pfizer, and Tardif. Not surprising at all.
So Pfizer will be back out there. Didn't see if he got patched up as he got hit with the high stick that drew blood, which is why the Grizzlies got the 4-minute power play.
Or excuse me, it'll be Fitzy. Fitzy instead of Bartley, it looks like.
Watch out for him in front of the net. He was that way in the playoffs. It was kind of him and Betts. You saw Betts in front of the net a little bit, but it was Dylan Fitz. And he's got good hands out in front. And I think with the rebounds that you were talking about that Chechelev had been allowing, Fitz could end up being that guy that could end up capitalizing on that rebound.
Yeah, and I talked to Kyle Betts about this the other day. He doesn't mind being in the right place at the right time. I could tell you that. He loves playing, the hash between the rings. He loves playing there down in these situations. So we'll see. This is going to be the next 2 minutes and 45 seconds really will, not to be cliche, but again, it's really going to determine the winner of this game. This is almost a must-score power play.
Rocco Stakoviak, the referee, is going to have his hands full here in the third period.
Yes, he is.
Grizzlies going to be skating from right to left as you hear it on YouTube and you see it on Flow Sports as Utah wins the draw. As Nielsen will back it out in his own zone. Pfizer cuts behind him. Nielsen feeds Pfizer with a right wing pass. Pfizer crosses center ice, gains the line, looks to center. The only guy there was a rush skater who cleared it out to center. Nielsen backpedals into his own zone again as Coda will retreat back defensively as Nielsen gets it over to Tardif. Ben left wing, crosses center ice, and he'll drive it into the right corner. Off the board, Utah spins it over to Tardif in the left corner. He couldn't handle it. Rapid City clears it to center. Actually, they carry it to center. 3-on-3. Rush trying to feed Kenton Helgeson out in front, but the whistle blows. Oh, do we have a penalty? The arm is raised. It's going to be a hook.
Tardif. Wow.
So that will do it for the Grizzlies power play as Ben Tardif, Sidney Rogers, and Russell Legal Solutions holding cell. 2 minutes for hooking. And the Grizzlies, who are 3 for 4 on the penalty kill tonight. Looks like we'll have some time. Actually, it will be a 4-on-4 as Nikolaev is still in the box. So it's not a power play, but you think about the skill of both teams. 4-on-4, that could be a golden opportunity for a skilled forward to get some open ice.
Yeah, I will take the Utah Grizzlies 4-on-4. I mean, especially with Zakos out there to take the draw right now.
Marcineau on the Rapid City side as the draw won by Utah. They tried to clear it out. Levine kept it in. Right side over to Nelson. He couldn't locate it as it was behind him, and it goes to center ice. Nelson gets it back. He's being shadowed by Klerman. Sekos poked it away. Hits off a Nelson skate, and Rapid City has control. Marcineau along the near boards. Drops it back off as the rush cross center ice. They fire it off of Sekos. And Utah gets it as Bartley will nudge it ahead, make that sure. He'll get it to Cameron Wright. Right to the left side, plenty of room. He'll take a shot. And a blocker saved by Chechelev. Rush come back the other way, 1-on-3. Nelson to the left side, skates towards the circle. He swings and misses. Utah out to neutralize. Cameron Wright gets the stick held up, and the referee spotted it. As
Going to be a slash. Cam Wright drew the slashing penalty. This is going to be another Utah Grizzlies Powerade power play as the mistakes are starting to mount for the Rapid City Rush. Great shift by Cam Wright there, and it simply is that Cam kept his legs pumping, and he just kept rolling past the Rapid City Rush defender in the neutral zone, almost forcing the official to make the call.
looks like Utah's taking their one timeout here. You talk about a critical sequence in the game. 4-on-3 for 1:20, and Ryan Kanasowicz has used this opportunity right here to take his timeout, talk to his team, and set up a play that he hopes will be the deciding factor in this game.
Yeah, and I don't think there's any doubt that this is the right thing to do here, to get everybody on the same page and make sure that you have what you need set up so that you get every opportunity you can here, because you've got 2 minutes of power play time, really 2:07 of power play time, because the high stick still has 1:27. Tardif's got 1:20. I mean, how many more opportunities do you want here? You know, like you got to cash big time right now.
That's why Ryan Kanasowicz used the timeout. He knows a thing or two about scoring goals. After all, he's the all-time leading scorer in Grizzlies history by a wide margin, 356 points, 156 goals. He was a teammate of Rush head coach Scott Burt in the 2007-08 season. Both guys had 60 points that time for the team lead.
Well, I only half joke, but you know the best forward on the Utah Grizzlies bench is?
Who's that?
Ryan Kanasowicz.
That's right.
I mean, watching him at practice,
he can still play.
Whew.
Sekos will take the draw from the left side. It's too bad head coaches can't suit up, because he would be a good forward for the Grizzlies. Utah wins the draw. Fizer on the right point, gets over to Nilsson. Nilsson back to Fizer. He fakes a shot, throws it to the corner. As Utah will switch places. Now it's over towards Sekos. He'll get it to Nilsson, right side. Nilsson switches places with Sekos. Nilsson over to the left side, over to Fizer. Nilsson falls down. He'll get back to his feet. Fizer switches places with Nilsson. Fizer fakes a shot, throws to the right. Sekos now back up top for Fizer. Fizer veers off to the left, gets it to Sekos. Sekos over to Fizer. I look for out in front, well, right, and the pass goes wide to the mark as he was looking for Cameron Wright, who's net front. Sekos, slot. He'll take a lefty wrist shot, and that gets blocked by Coda. Rolls back to Sekos. Grizzlies still in the offensive zone. 34 seconds left in the 4-on-3. Sekos in the right circle, gets up top for Nilsson. Nilsson fakes a shot, gets to Fizer. Fizer back to Nilsson. One-timer to go, lifts on him, and goes out of play as Nilsson was looking for a liner, and it might have gotten redirected by a Rapid City player. Otherwise, the puck lifted on him a little bit.
No, that's a deflection. That'll be in the zone. Right side of the zone here.
Very patient approach by that three-man unit up top with Fizer, Sekos, and Nilsson.
But you want to see more shot opportunities, and to do that, you've got to get the puck moving back and forth, left and right in the zone. That is the only way to create opportunities, and it gets the Rush goaltender moving, by the way.
Cameron Wright was net front there for about a minute. This draw's going to be in the right circle. We expect Wright to be net front once again, and he's got the size to make his presence felt with good hands. At 6'1" and 200 pounds, he looks every bit of it. Sekos will take the draw. Fizer up top. In fact, I saw Terran Fizer looks a little bit stronger to me this year from what he was in the playoffs last season. Utah wins the draw. Nilsson feeds it to the left side for Fizer. Terran surveys. He'll get it back to Nilsson. Right side in the circle. He'll take a shot on a go. Deflects just wide. Grizzlies get it back up top for Nilsson. He couldn't handle it. Rapid City gets it to neutral ice. Fizer wins a foot race with Brooks. As Brooks holds up Fizer. Grizzlies have a 5-on-3 for 4 seconds, and then Marshall will come out of the box. So make that Nikolaev. As over towards right. Left side feeds it across. Nilsson, I try to find it out front. Sorry, pass shot to score! Grizzlies take the lead! Is that Zach Sekos scoring for the second straight game? I think it is. He skates to the bench first.
Yes, sir, it is. And the bench rejoices in the goal on the power play. What a huge moment for this club. This bench is on their feet. This is exactly what you needed if you were the Utah Grizzlies. What a shift by Sekos Fizer out there for the longest time. Ryan Kanasowicz right here at the door to meet his team, give them all fives. That was an incredible shift. I mean, that's professional hockey right there, taking advantage. It's 2-1 Utah Grizzlies, 17-10 to go.
A great pass by Cameron Wright, who was on the left side, fed it across, and on to Sekos as the Rush dump it in after winning the face-off. As Sekos gets it going back-to-back games. Alliardi with a shot that gets blocked by Parik. Dakota Raby with it, and he'll feed it over to McDonald. He gets it across to Bartley. As over towards the Grizzlies, who get in the offensive zone. Penner gets dragged down, no call. As Tyson Helgeson around the net, as he'll feed it to neutral ice. Marchino crosses center ice. He'll skate in down the middle. He throws it behind his back to Nelson. Nelson gets wide, collides with McDonald. As the Rush in the left point. Skates in, takes a shot. It bounces off of Alliardi as he got hit by Bartley. As McDonald with the puck, will get it to Bartley. Victor will throw a left wing pass out towards Fitz. It gets picked off. Rapid City gets in. Marchino will get to the right circle. Shot saved by Parik. It was kicked by Alliardi and goes wide of the mark as he kind of kicked it through the goal line and not past it. Grizzlies clear it out and just call for icing. Boy, that was a close chance there by Alliardi.
3 opportunities, all said no by Lukas Parik. He has been outstanding tonight. Not to overstate it, but what a huge save by Parik there. And then a good shove in the back of Alliardi. Lukas Parik is having a night.
Grizzlies lead 2-1. Pfizer and Sekos with the Grizz goals. Both the Sekos' goals were out in front on great centering passes. One in the second period last night, and here in the third tonight. Rush win the face-off, and they're in the offensive zone as they're in the left corner. Feed it to the circle. Shot saved by Parik. And the Rush keep it in the high slot. Wickers throws to the corner. Cairns, who has Rapid City's goal tonight, feeds it to Yamamoto. As Yamamoto gets his pass picked off. Raby crosses center ice. Grizzlies make a line change behind him. Raby gets blasted along the boards. Raby will come off the ice himself. As puck is at center ice, Grizzlies in control as Pfizer throws it back into his own zone for Clerman. He'll feed it across to Shearer. He gets to Betts on the left side. Betts skates in. His left circle will take a shot. Saved by Chechelev. Rebound goes to the right corner. As John Martin will feed it across. Now Rapid City skates out to neutral ice. 1-on-4. Cairns dumps it in. Parik to the side of his net. Spins it along the near wall. Rapid City back towards the corner. Cairns looks for a centering pass. Iverson shot, and Pfizer got his stick in the way. Iverson can get a quick shot off. As Betts towards the Rapid City bench dumps it in. Pfizer looks to center it. Pass lifted on Tardif's stick and goes wide. Now to the corner. Pfizer held up by 2 Rush skaters. Tardif skates over there. Pfizer comes out of the pile with the puck. Pfizer feeds it to the corner on the near side. Tardif battling with Rapid City. Tardif holds his ground and goes back up top for Nielsen. Andrew skates along the wall on the near side as he spins it back around to the right corner. Pfizer spins it back around as Nielsen looked like he was flexing his wrist a little bit. Now back towards Pfizer around the net. Looks for a centering pass. Tardif tried to find Cameron Wright cutting, and it bounced off the stick. Now it's for Tardif.
Wow.
Now Nielsen, we got a fight. Ken jumps Utah as he fights Cameron Wright. Somebody else jumps in. Now we got another fight here to the right side. Now not much of a fight, just kind of Nelson getting held up by another skater. As Kenton Helgeson out there in the front went after Cameron Wright.
What is Kenton Helgeson doing? I don't know what his beef with Cameron Wright is.
I think the scouting report was to try to play him physical. I don't think they understand. And I talked to Connor McDonald yesterday at morning skate. I don't think they understand how tough Cameron Wright is. He's the type of guy that's going to make sure that he makes it work.
Yeah. And just coming up from behind him, it's unbelievable. They're going to take another penalty. They're going to take another penalty here.
Yeah, if you're the Grizzlies, you want to make sure that they pay for it.
Unbelievable. Like, how stupid is this? And listen, I know we're all professionals and we're trying to win a game here, but at some point you got to stop shooting your feet off. And if you're the Rapid City Rush, you have got it. This is just not smart. You literally have Kenton Helgeson punching Cameron Wright in the face for no reason from behind. Like that is a cheap shot that is just unbelievable.
Helgeson gets fined for fighting, and he's the only one getting fined for fighting, so it's going to be a 5-minute power play for the Grizzlies.
How do you explain that, Tyson? Like that is just inexplicable. Like, I don't know if it is just frustration. And how about the Utah Grizzlies not responding to pick up the matching penalty?
This is perfect execution.
And that gives the Grizzlies a 5-minute power play here with a 1-goal lead.
Yes, it does. And I'm dumbfounded because this Rapid City Rush team is coming apart at the seams. I mean, you're giving the Utah Grizzlies, what is this, 9 minutes in power play time here?
Yep.
It's unbelievable. You know how talented this team is. And now you're looking at another shift with Fitzy, Betts is out there, Pfizer's out there, Andrew Nielsen, and Ben Tardif. I mean, you're just giving them so many opportunities because you want to walk up behind Cam Wright and punch him in the face. Like, I hope you feel good. I hope you're enjoying that in the penalty box.
Betts will take the draw for Utah. He's been pretty good on the face-off circle tonight.
Man.
Waiting for the linesman to drop the puck. I got to get some clarification. I think protocol's a little bit different on face-offs, who drops their stick first. As Betts wins the draw, Nilsson on the left side over to Tardif near the boards. As he gets it back up top for Nilsson across to Pfizer. Pfizer over to Nilsson. Rapid City cuts in front of him. Good job anticipating the play. Marchino, 2-on-4. He'll bounce it off the boards. Nilsson along the end wall of Utah zone gets hit by Tardif. Nilsson keeps the puck. As he's over to the right side, take a shot. Saved by Parik. He knows that Nelson's got a quick release and was ready for it. Grizzlies get it across the center ice for Tardif. Ben gets to the right side. Now up top for Pfizer. Pfizer to the left side. He's in the circle. As he surveys, feeds it across to Nilsson. Andrew, right side. Stops, trying to get it to Tardif, but it's picked off. Rapid City over towards Codet. Codet center ice. As Pfizer will throw it back into the Grizzlies zone as Utah makes a line change. Rapid City does as well. 4:10 left in the 5-minute fighting major. Usually it's offsetting, but only Kenton Helgeson got the 5 minutes. As Utah's Cameron Wright back on the ice, he gets it to Tardif. Ben over to the left side getting double shifted. He throws it up top for Nilsson. That pass was wide to the mark.
Just be patient here. You've got 3:50 to go. Be patient, be decisive. Don't give Rapid City an opportunity here.
As Braves former broadcaster Skip Carey used to say, a little insurance wouldn't hurt. As Utah skates from right to left. Grizzlies get it out to neutralize. Cameron Wright across the center ice. As Nikolaev was trailing him. Now it's a Sekos. Left side gets over to the right. Grizzlies with a backhand shot saved by Chechelev. Cameron Wright feeds it up top for Bartley. He swung and didn't get much on it on the one-time attempt. 2-on-3, Rapid City across the center ice and clears it deep in the Grizzlies zone. Nikolaev gets hit with a high stick by Sekos. That's going to be called.
Wow.
Sekos 2 minutes for high sticking, and so that abbreviates the power play. Grizzlies will be in there for 2 minutes. After Sekos comes out of the box, Utah will still be on the power play for 1:14 after that.
Yeah, and they're checking to see if this is 2 or 4.
Just 2 minutes for Sekos.
Yep.
They're working on a stanchion near the Grizzlies zone with Lukas, behind Lukas Parik, and they'll replace that quickly as we got 12:45 left here in the third period of what's been an outstanding hockey game, and there's nothing like watching live hockey here at Maverik Center. Remember, in mid-November, the Grizzlies will have a 6-game homestand. The Idaho Steelheads will be here November 17th, 18th, and 20th. That's a Thursday, Friday, and Sunday. Sunday, remember, will be 3:10. Every Sunday home game will be at 3:10, and then Thanksgiving weekend, the 12 Rivieras Lions will be here for a 3-game set.
You say that so naturally, it just rolls right off your tongue.
Well, there's, I really don't know if I'm saying it right or not.
Well,
I just call them the Lions.
I believe you are saying it perfectly as far as I'm concerned.
Well, that's good. I still don't know if I'm saying it right, though. But we're going to skate 4-on-4. Grizzlies win the face-off. They skate around Parik's net over to Dakota Raby. This type of action could end up suiting him as he avoids a check of Levine. As Raby keeps his feet. The speed of Raby could be good in 4-on-4 situations. As Raby tried to get it over to Cam Strong. Strong gets it, spins it back to the right point for Shearer. James gets it back to Cam Strong. He couldn't hold it with his skate to slow it down. Clerman gets hit back to Strong behind the boards as he has a bounce off his stick. John Martin will get it over towards the corner. Levine, as Rapid City wants to be patient with their approach here in their own zone, making sure they make the right decisions. They feed it over to the right side, John Martin. He's been impressive this weekend. So feed it over to Levine. Levine enters the zone as he gets dragged by Tardif, no call. As the Grizzlies feed it out to center ice. Pass connects. As Pfizer will skate in. Backhand shot. He
Lucas. Goal!
Grizzlies get some insurance as Taryn Pfizer gets his second of the game. Utah takes a 3-1 lead.
And they lose their mind on the Utah Grizzlies bench. Let's do this. What a play. How about that finish in very tight quarters for the Utah Grizzlies? Holy cow, Taryn Pfizer. Man, with a fat lip and all, Taryn Pfizer finishes. How big has that line been? And I know we talked about it beforehand, but how big has that line been, man? Holy cow, what a finish.
And for the second straight night, a great move by Taryn Pfizer out in front of the net. Nate Cormo with the outlet pass, and you can't underestimate the pass. As a big hit in the Grizzlies zone as Utah with it, leading 3-1. As Grizzlies, after with Victor Bartley, he's going to hold things up a little bit with his patient approach. He'll get it to Kyle Betts. 11:30 left in the third period. Can't underestimate the outlet pass by Corman. Grizzlies still 4-on-4 action, tries to feed it to Pfizer out in front on hat trick watch, goes wide. Actually, it was Cameron Wright. As Aliardi to the right side. As the rush trying to get back in. Nice move by Aliardi. He's now on the left side, but the Grizzlies take it away.
Big save there by the captain, Connor McDonald, on his back.
Grizzlies will get 3 new skaters as Bartley holds it up behind the Grizzlies net. He'll give it to Andrew Nilsson. Back to Bartley. So Grizzlies go 2 forwards and 2 defensemen here. We're skating 4-on-4 for 15 seconds. Raby enters the zone with speed to the left side and stops at the point. Gets it to the corner for Jamison. It's Jamison over to Nilsson. Left side, he skates towards his right. Nilsson back to Jamison. Jamison over towards the left circle. Is out of the box is Sekos. The Grizzlies will be back on the power play for the next minute 10. Skating in is Jamison. Take a shot that goes wide. As the rush, 1-on-3 cross center ice. They drag down Utah, no calls. Play starting to get physical again. Sekos crosses center ice down the middle. He'll gain the blue line. He'll get it to Bryson Martin. He'll get it to Nilsson. Now across to Sekos. Back over to Tardif. Good job by Rapid City cutting in front of Chechelev, not letting him get his shooting angle. Sekos right side over to Nilsson. Andrew goes to the Tardif. One-timer. And bounced off of Chechelev on a pad save and deflects out of play.
Boy, Chechelev has not been real good with the glove tonight. Is the right way to say it? He's fighting the puck, I feel like. You know, he's not getting that easy catch. He's not getting that, that clean finish that you want from your goalkeeper, your goaltender, to catch that puck, freeze it. It's hitting his net, going up, hitting his glove, going up into the net. It's just not been clean tonight, Tyson.
Looks like he might be a little bit better on his blocker side. He actually catches with his right, and his blocker side is his left.
Which is backward. You're exactly right. Good vision by you.
I just saw the stick was on his left hand, really. As they rush, clear it out as the Grizzlies are on the power play for the next 30 seconds. As the Grizzlies over to the right side, skate over, Pfizer over to Betts. Pfizer's on hat trick watch with 2 goals tonight. As Tardif over to the left side, he tried to get it back to Pfizer. Rapid City poked it into the corner. Calder Brooks with Kyle Betts. Betts gets spun around. Puck behind the Rapid City net. Betts nudges it across to Tardif. Ben gets it behind the net. They look to center it to Fitz out in front. Rapid City pokes it away. As Rapid City over to center ice. As Brooks, slot shot, stick save by Parik. As Grizzlies back behind their net as Helgeson is out of the penalty box and he'll skate to the bench. Nilsson crosses center ice, tries to split a double team. Puck goes to the corner. Nilsson gets physical and wins that battle. Spins it around for Cameron Wright. Wright over to Sekos, trying to get it back to Wright. And kind of lifted a backhand pass deep in the Grizzlies zone. Rapid City has it, 9-10 and counting left in the third. As the Grizzlies look for a shot, deflected off a stick as the rush. Near the boards in the corner, spin it back towards Tyson Helgeson. He wears number 44 as he'll lift it into the air. Gloved by the Grizzlies at the right point, but Rapid City pokes it back to center ice. Utah's up 3-1, less than 9 minutes left in regulation. Right wing pass to John Martin. He'll step over the blue line. He avoids a check of Shearer, but gets divorced from the puck. Is Shearer doing a good job here tonight. Over to the right side. Cairns trying to avoid a check. He gets dragged down by Keaton Jamison. Jamison got stronger in the offseason. Grizzlies roll it back around to the left side. Utah up ahead to center ice, crossing center as Utah gets a couple fresh skaters. Jamison, left side, gets it to the corner as John Martin comes away with it. Grizzlies retreat defensively, protecting a 2-goal lead. Pass picked off at the right side. Grizzlies, Raby with a shot, that one goes wide. Raby's active and he's everywhere, and he's good defensively. Raby over to the right side, one-timer, and Cam Strong didn't get all of it as it goes wide. Quinn Wickers gets it as play getting physical and staying physical here throughout. Iverson will clear it to center ice. Grizzlies gather it back with McDonald. Him and Bartley could certainly be instrumental in the Grizzlies protecting the lead with their decision making. As the rush, Tyler Penner picks it off left side in the Grizzlies offensive zone. He'll bounce it off as Zulsdorf as it rolls back to the right corner. Rush skating from left to right, cross center ice. They'll gain the blue line. Good poke check. Zulsdorf comes in. He'll toss it to the corner. McDonald feeds it across to Bartley. Victor over to Taron Fizer, who's got 2 goals tonight and 3 this weekend. As Tardif gets over to Penner. Penner will bounce it off the boards. Fizer running after it as he's trying to get around 2 rush skaters. Gets between them, but icing is called. And Fizer collides with a rush skater after the whistle. But no harm, no foul there. With 7:26 left in the third.
Boy, and it is, the jawing has not stopped. And the 2 benches absolutely are going at it. And this game for the Utah Grizzlies, there's no, hey, let's just kill the clock. These guys are down here working hard, grinding. I mean, this has been a heck of a hockey game. What a weekend of hockey here at the Maverik Center.
You know, the fans that came to Maverik Center tonight, they certainly have gotten their money's worth of entertainment.
Yeah, great loud crowd tonight.
Good offense. The defensive work for both teams has really been good as well. As special teams have played a factor too. Grizzlies 2 power play goals, and that's the difference in this one. As Grizzlies clear it out to center, as Reinhardt will fire it from center ice. Parik with a blocker save. And really kind of a pad save there with his knees, kicking it away as Utah gets it across to Nilsson at center ice. Andrew steps over the offensive line, lightly taps into the left corner. Kenton Helgeson behind the net. They'll feed it to the right side. Martin kept it in. There's Martin on both sides. Bryson Martin out 1-on-3. Aliardi to the left side, gets over to the right. Good poke check by the Grizzlies. Tardif in the corner, hits Aliardi. Aliardi was able to spin it away. He looks like he takes physical play pretty well. Aliardi over to the right side. I looked to feed it out in front, and nobody was home. Rolls back to the left side. Now in the corner, Bryson Martin doing a good job boxing out Calder Brooks. He'll nudge it ahead to Kyle Betts, who avoids a check. It goes to center ice. Rapid City gets it over to the right side. Rush. Gained the line. Right side, they tried to feed Code out in front. Pass was wide of the mark. Over to the left side, Rapid City collides, sticks with Sekos. Sekos trying to hold his ground. Rapid City is able to keep it in the offensive zone. Left side near the boards. They feed it to the corner. Coda gets it up top. One-timer, and that one goes just wide. That was a shot taken by Levine. Now Rapid City out to the left side. They'll take a shot, and it goes high as they try to go up top on Lukas Parik and deflects out of play with 6:05 left in the third.
Well, I tell you cannot say enough about the quality defense the forwards are playing. A lot of active sticks. Great job by Ben Tardif getting back to lift a stick, block a shot. This is really well done by the Utah Grizzlies forwards.
3-1 Grizzlies, 6:05 left in the third. We're back in 30 seconds on the Grizzlies Hockey Network. 3-1 Grizzlies, 6:05 left in the third. It's been spirited throughout. You wouldn't want to have it any other way. Lukas Parik, kind of the story of this game. He has stopped 22 of 23 against his former team.
In spectacular fashion at times, too. He's been rock solid. I mean, you have 6:05 to go here. This game's not over. Wind draws, pucks in, pucks out.
Draw's going to be in the Grizzlies zone left side. Calder Brooks. He plays a good two-way game. He'll take the draw. He was pretty good for Rapid City late in the regular season and into the playoffs. Tyler Penner is crouching down low for the Grizzlies. And I think the reason why there's been a little bit of a delay is there has been a different protocol that the league put in place. I got to check to see what it is about who gets to drop their stick first. As Nikolai from Russia, number 7, they'll skate in from the goal line. Parik cuts him off. Clermont in the area, but Ilya keeps it as he throws it towards the slot. Good poke check by the Grizzlies. And that's Zach Sekos, who's played an outstanding game.
Yeah, he really has. Zach Sekos is a lot more physical than people will give him credit for. That was a great example of it.
Over to the far side, Nate Klerman skates around the net. Over towards Sekos. He gets hit up high by Calder Brooks. That's a penalty. Yeah, Brooks hit him, but he hit him up high. And so looks like it's going to be another power play for the Grizzlies with 5:34 left in the third.
What are you doing? This is again. I'm just curious. What was going through your head in that moment where you decided to try and take Zekos apart? I mean, really, that's the guy you're going after? My goodness.
Grizzlies will be back on the power play. Utah leads 3-1. We're back in 30 seconds on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
When you pay with the Nitro card at Maverik, you always save 10 cents or more on fuel every gallon, every day. And you could save a whole lot more thanks to Nitro Best Price. Pick up a Nitro card and upgrade your Adventure Club account today.
Grizzlies lead 3-1. We got clarification on the rule. The attacking player shall choose whose stick goes down first in the designated wide area.
There you go.
So Betts, in this case, got to choose as he was getting the attacking zone face-off. He wins it. Nilsson over in the corner. Nilsson will throw it up top for Tardif. Ben over to the left side, feeds it across for Pfizer. He takes a shot. That one gets blocked out in front, and the deflection goes all the way out to center ice. I've got the best intern in the league. Guy Krenza pulled up the rule for me right here. As Grizzlies over towards Kyle Betts. Betts crosses center ice, down the middle, gets over to Pfizer. Pfizer around everybody, take a shot. Oh, and he missed a hat trick by about a couple feet. Didn't miss it by much. Puck ends up clearing out to center. Rapid City skates out of it. Cairns, he'll center it. Shot and a score. What a play by Rapid City as Rory Cairns centered it. And the rush. Say this one's not over yet as Matt Marchino gets a shorthanded goal, and it's 3-2. Boy, the speed of Rory Cairns there was on full display, winning a foot race. Marchino cut down the middle, and Cairns with a nice pass. He now has 1 goal and 1 assist tonight.
Well, you got to make a better pass than that out too. I mean, you missed Ben Tardif at the top of the zone by, I don't know, Tyson, what, a good 2 feet.
Yeah.
That's what led to that. And you have Taryn Pfizer who missed that top corner by maybe less than a foot.
Didn't miss a hat trick by much. It's still a game as it's Grizzlies 3, Rush 2. Utah still on the power play. Calder Brooks in the box. Oh no, as
not
it
for
was
long.
Cameron Wright over in the corner. Rapid City was trying to skate ahead. Wright spun him around, and it looks like it's going to be a penalty on Cameron Wright.
Yeah, this will be a hook.
So we'll have 1 minute, 11 seconds of 4-on-4 action, and then after that, it'll be a Rush power play. There's 4:45 left in the third. It's the Grizzlies 3 and the Rush 2.
Officially holding with 4:45 to go. 2-minute penalty. Do the math. You got it. This is a huge kill. You have 1 minute and 11 left on the Rapid City penalty. So this is a huge moment in time. Man, Tyson, these games just are never. It's not easy to win in this league, man.
And it's always a thin line between winning and losing when you got two teams battling the way they have here tonight. It was essentially a 1-goal game with an empty netter at the very end. Rapid City won 5-3 last night, and tonight we got a 1-goal game. Grizzlies 3 and the Rush 2. Ra's going to be in the right circle. Max Coda got to choose whose stick went down first this time. Face-off won by Utah's Victor Bartley over to the left side. He gets pushed into the glass. Dakota Raby over to Connor McDonald, who couldn't reach it. Coda gets cut off by Raby on a great defensive play. Now left side shot, kick save by Parik. Well, that was a blast by Helgeson, who got a lot of velocity on his shot. Coda on the right side. As they'll feed it across, nobody was home for Rapid City. Connor McDonald runs after it. McDonald with an outlet pass deflected off a Zulsdorf stick as McDonald was looking for Dakota Raby. 38 seconds left in the 4-on-4 as Max Coda crosses center ice. Good poke check by Penner as it rolls back to a Rush defenseman. Grizzlies 28 shots to the Rush's 25 as Rapid City cutting in front of their skater with the puck as they feed it to Logan Nelson. They'll get it over to the left side as Cairns gets cut off by Klerman, and now the Grizzlies on the left side cross center ice. Betts dumps it in. He'll run after it. Quinn Wickers skates around his net. We got less than 4 minutes left in regulation, and out of the penalty box in 5 seconds will be Calder Brooks, and then the Rush will start a power play. Karen sees that, and he'll back it out into his own zone as Brooks will skate towards his bench, and the Rush will use a patient approach here to try to find a way to tie this game as they've got 40 seconds worth of a power play here. As Rapid City gets it to the right side, they cross center ice. Marchneau over to Nelson, back to Marchneau. As he's on the right side, spins it along the wall to the left, trying to get it back to Nelson. His pass is picked off. Zach Seko skates along the left side. Seko's with a lefty shot, saved by Chechelev. Rebound goes out to the right side as the Grizzlies. Keaton Jamison in the corner, double teamed by Rapid City. Utah makes a change of a couple skaters behind him as Jamison battles for a while. Now Alex Aliardi comes away with it. He crosses center ice. Less than 3 minutes left. Aliardi fakes a shot, tried to skate in. McDonald hit him up, and Connor might have gotten a break there as he hit Aliardi a little bit up high, but he did his job and did it well.
They've not been calling that tonight, though.
Cameron
2-3
Wright.
times they've taken that liberty against the Grizzlies with no arm in the air.
Cameron Wright skates off the ice as he's out of the box, 5-on-5 skating. Rapid City skates in, shot saved by Parik. Now Nikolaev, as he trips up Utah, no call. Pfizer falls down at center ice. He's spent a lot of energy here and has been outstanding. As the ice surface probably a little bit choppy here with 2.5 minutes left. Grizzlies 3 in the Rush 2. Brooks gets around Pfizer into the zone. And as Calder Brooks over to the right side, gets around another skater. I tried to feed it out in front. Bartley picked it off. Victor Bartley gets it over the head of Reinhardt, and it goes into the Rush zone. Chechelev will throw it to neutral ice. Pass picked off by Wright. He'll fire it from outside the blue line. Chechelev makes the save as the rebound goes out to the right corner. As Rapid City, less than 2 minutes left. Utah's up by 1. Now goes to right side. He'll take a shot. Saved by Chechelev as Rapid City tried to bounce it off the glass into Stanchion and went to the right circle. And Wright had a good look and kind of a one-time wrist shot. Chechelev made the save.
Yeah, boy, how long? And they've been trying to get Chechelev out of the net, and they haven't given him the opportunity. The Grizzlies have not given him the opportunity. I think they're going to take their time out here, or at least see as they're talking about it on the Rush bench. Because remember, the Grizzlies took theirs earlier, and
Stafford does have the clipboard out. He's going to drop a play. I think he wants to take a little bit of time before he actually calls the timeout. And now the Rush have used their one timeout, 1:48 left in the third, but it's going to be an offensive zone draw for the Grizzlies. So if Rapid City does win the face-off, they'll want to at least get it to neutral ice before they pull Chechelev for the extra skater.
Yeah, and I think as soon as they get this puck out, that's going to happen. I mean, you have a group that you trust on the ice now. I mean, it's not surprising to see guys like Jamison, Sekos, Shearer, Betts, Klerman. And those are all good defenders, forward and defenseman.
And if it is going to be a Grizzlies victory, it's going to be a team effort, as it feels like everybody's contributed.
Yeah, I spot on. I think this has absolutely been a team win. If you get the win, because I think it's far from decided with 1:48 to go. Utah 3, Rapid City 2. Look how even the shots are, 31-26 in favor of the Grizzlies. And that's really indicative of all that penalty time, Tyson, that Rapid City took here. You know, how different is this game if they have a little bit more discipline tonight?
I'm not sure. Parik's played well, but you know, it's a lot of power play time for the Grizzlies in the third period.
Yeah. Late substitution, Brooks on for Rapid City.
He seems to be the guy that takes a lot of the key face-offs for Rapid City. This time it looks like it's Jamison taking the draw for Utah. It is Jamison taking the face-off, and it's won by Utah. They skate around the Rapid City net. Utah can use some insurance. Jamison feeds it across to Sekos, but it's wide of the mark. Rapid City gets it to their blue line. Aliardi gets around Cameron Wright as Aliardi crosses center ice. Chechelev still in there as the puck is in the Grizzlies zone, left side. Now Chechelev will skate off the ice. Rapid City behind the Utah net. Aliardi over to Marchneau. Now to the right side, Rush with a shot. On, it goes just wide. That was taken by Nelson. Rush get it back up top for Nelson. He'll feed it to Zulsdorf on the left side. Zulsdorf surveys, a lot of action out in front. Zulsdorf with a shot that gets blocked. It goes back to the left point. Zulsdorf over to Nelson. He'll feed it to the right side for Brooks. Back up top for Nelson. He'll get it to the left side. 1 minute left. Rapid City, 6-on-5 with Utah's net empty. Over to Calder Brooks, back to Nelson. Right side, he swings and misses. Grizzlies bouncing puck. Grizzlies clear the zone.
going to be icing.
45.9 seconds left as Utah will have to keep the same 5 on the ice. Rapid City probably has the 6 that they want out there anyway, so they might not make a change. Maybe one guy will come off. Looks like one guy is going to come on for Rapid City. Talking with Brooks, replacing him, and it's going to be Rory Cairns. He's probably been Rapid City's best player tonight.
I would
agree. 1 goal and 1 assist.
Yeah, I would agree. Brooks is off.
Matt Marshall's taking the face-off for Rapid City. For Utah, looks like it's Zach Sekos.
Not surprising. He's excellent. Physical face-off man.
And they're trying to determine who drops the stick first. That's why we're seeing a little bit of a delay. It's a draw won by Rapid City. Nelson feeds it across. 40 seconds left. Rush over to the left side as they survey. Throw it back up top to Aliardi. He'll take a shot saved by Parik. Rebound Grizzlies throw it towards the right corner. Trying to clear it out is Jamison looking to backhand it. Rush kept it in. Zolsdorf with the play of the game at the Rush end up scoring. Over in the corner, Rapid City gets around the net. Nelson feeds it out in front. Grizzlies clear it out. Good job by Zach Sekos. He should get star honors tonight. 16 seconds left. Grizzlies get a couple fresh skaters out there. Aliardi dumps it in. Bartley runs it down with Nelson. Nelson and Bartley, they exchange as they hold each other up. Aliardi looks to center. Now toward good poke check. Zolsdorf feeds to the right side. 3 seconds left. Rush with a shot that goes wide. Grizzlies win! Grizzlies win 3-2, and there is no doubt about it. As Lukas Parik stopped 25 of 27, and Taryn Pfizer scored 2 goals. And how about Zach Sekos clearing the puck out with about 20 seconds left as the Grizzlies split the 2 games against the Rapid City Rush and get their first victory of the regular season.
Wow, that's huge. Absolutely huge that you have the first win for Jared Pike as an assistant. You have your first win of the season. The boys are on the ice. They're going to salute an absolutely packed house here at the Maverik Center. Unbelievable atmosphere tonight. What a big win. Man, they needed this one, Tyson.
It took a lot of guts, and Rapid City put together a good effort. It was a very physical game. But when you think about Taryn Pfizer and the 2 goals, and Zach Sekos playing an amazing game, and that has to feel good for Lukas Parik facing his former team. He saw 27 shots, and he stopped 25 of them as he gets the victory in his Grizzlies debut. And you talk about the Grizzlies in a tough division battle, and really a tough division. You know, sometimes you're going to have to dig deep and find a way. You know, I know it sounds like a cliche, but tonight the Grizzlies dug deep, and they found a way to salvage the 2nd game of this series.
Yeah, and you see Lukas Parik at the blue line giving thanks. You see Cam Wright talking to the officials. I'm sure he wants some answers as to why penalties weren't called.
Parik might as well stay out there as he's the number 3 star. Let's get him a t-shirt to toss into the stands.
Darn right. What a night for Lukas Parik against his former team. How much did he want this? Let's go. Look at him raising the crowd.
He raised his arms to fire up the crowd. There's a crowd heading for the exits.
Go.
Lukas Parik thanks everybody, and it was a good crowd.
He's such a good dude. I mean, it's so difficult to describe. You know this, Tyson. You get around teams, you get around organizations, and you meet guys like Lukas Parik that are they're just good guys. They're hard to not to root for. And you just see the effort and the energy that is put into these guys. And now Parik is going to be the number 1 star here. Or I guess he's the number 3 star.
Lukas Parik back on the ice. He gets his t-shirt. He's going to toss it into the crowd as once again he gets the crowd fired up. Lukas Parik likes to wear a cowboy hat. I've seen that on a few occasions.
And boots.
Continues to get the crowd fired up as he tosses it into the seats. They're in section 126.
How happy is he? And don't forget, fans, Lukas Parik played for the Rapid City Rush last year. And here comes Sekos, number 2 star. What a performance by him. Unbelievable as they'll throw the t-shirt into the seats.
Sekos scored 250 into the 3rd period, and he was outstanding. Did a lot of the little things. The number 1 star is Taryn Pfizer. He scored 3 goals this weekend. Pfizer had 2 shots on goal, and both of them found the back of the net.
Unbelievable, man.
He finished up a great junior career with the Victoria Royals. He had 51 points in 35 games last season. And he was certainly a key for the Grizzlies in the postseason last year. And I saw him at training camp. He looks like he's a bit stronger this year.
Yeah, I mean, it just, this team needed this win. And to know this club is to know what it means to them to win this game. To know this club is to be happy for Lukas Parik. Man, what a win, what a night, what a weekend to hockey fans. If you have not been out to the Madhouse, you got to get here, because I'm telling you now that Ryan Kanasowicz is got something special cooking. It had been easy to excuse away a loss tonight. They never quit, they never stopped working, and the Utah Grizzlies win.
3-2 the final score. We'll come back and get started with the post-game report here on the Grizzlies Hockey Network.
When you pay with the Nitro card at Maverik, you always save 10 cents or more on fuel every gallon, every day. And you could save a whole lot more thanks to Nitro Best Price. Pick up a Nitro card and upgrade your Adventure Club.
Grizzlies win 3-2. Taryn Fizer with 2 goals, the #1 star of the night. Zach Sekos with a big third-period goal that gave Utah a 2-1 lead. Taryn Fizer's game winner was 8:08 into the third. Let's recap the scoring as Utah took a 1-0 lead after one. Fizer scored from the right circle, and that's the second of the season and first of 2 tonight. Tardif and Nilsson with the assist. It was a great play by Tardif, who was in the left circle, fed it across to Fizer. Taryn displayed good hands and was able to put it away. Utah went 2 for 9 on the power play, and that turned out to be the difference in the game. Grizzlies led 1-0 after one. Both teams had 8 shots. Rapid City scored in the second period. Rory Cairns, who's got an NHL entry-level deal with the Calgary Flames. He's only 20 years old. Remember his name because he looks like he's got a bright future. He was outstanding in both games this weekend. He scored a goal in both games of the weekend. Alex Aliardi and Ryan Zolsdorf with the assist. That was a power play tally. Time of goal 13-18 in. Game is tied at 1 after 2 periods. Zach Sekos scored on the power play, 2:50 into the third. Andrew Nilsson and Cameron Wright with the assists. Then the Grizzlies extended the lead as they got some insurance, 8:08 into the third period. And Fizer made a great move for the goal, but the outlet pass by Nate Klerman getting it to the Grizzlies offensive blue line to Fizer. Taryn got it and then made a really nice move, faking to his right, backhand shot to the left, and putting it away for Utah's third goal. That made it a 3-1 game. But then the Rush got a shorthanded tally as it was a 2-on-2. We mentioned Rory Cairns with that goal in the second period. He was skating down the left side. Matt Marcineau was cutting down the middle. Cairns got the feed to Marcineau to connect, and Marcineau put it away as he scored a goal in back-to-back games here in this series. And time of goal was 15:06 into the third. That made it a 1-goal game. And the Grizzlies held strong. And you think about a difference in the game, I look at the face-off battle. In the second period, the Grizzlies won it 10-4 in the third period. When every face-off, especially in the last few minutes, would be critical to who won this game, Grizzlies won the face-off battle 11-5. And, you think about the third period, Rush outshot the Grizzlies 10-9. But the Grizzlies come away with the victory. And, Monty, when you think about winning that third period, winning the game, it was tied going into the third period as it was last night. This night, tonight it was the Grizzlies that won the third period, and as a result, they win the game 3-2.
Yeah, and I think they remained more disciplined. That's the best way that I can put it, is they remained more disciplined. When Rapid City was losing their mind and, taking really foolish penalties, the Grizzlies stayed calm. The Grizzlies stayed composed, and they were rewarded with a victory tonight, a well-earned, hard-fought victory for the Utah Grizzlies. And you can't help but be happy for these guys. They've worked so hard. It's been kind of a grind. With all the changes in the building, the Grizzlies have not had their home ice to practice on. They've found themselves oftentimes, over at A-Court Ice Center, which is a beautiful place to play, don't get me wrong. But that's not your home locker room. That's not where you see your locker. That's not where your things are. And so they've been on the road a lot. They had a tough trip to Boise. They had a tough game in Ogden. Then last night you come out, you don't get the win you wanted. But this team has character, and that's why you saw them battle for their points tonight.
Cameron Wright led Utah with 8 shots. Looked like Rapid City was playing him pretty physical. But as Connor McDonald, his former college teammate, said, he's kind of a rat in a good way. He's the type of guy that, he's going to make his impact, and he's going to get in those areas. If the game turns physical, Cameron Wright's going to not be deterred by it. He's the kind of guy that can take physical play pretty well. And I think he showed that here tonight, and it's just going to be a matter of time, probably in the first game of the road trip, that Cameron Wright lights the lamp for the first time as a pro.
Yeah, I think it's a matter of time. I don't think it's going to be long at all until he does that. He's just such a determined, gritty player.
Ben Tardif 7 shots tonight. He picked up an assist in each of the 2 games in this series. And then the rest of the shooting, was a little bit balanced. Tyler Penner, 4 shots. Taryn Fizer, 2 shots. Both of his found the back of the net. And I kind of think about this first weekend, the 2 players out of camp, the 2 forwards that really impressed me more than anything was Fizer and Sekos. Both guys were part of the Grizzlies' playoff run. Sekos played 3 regular season games. Fizer joined the team for the first round of the playoffs, and both guys were outstanding there. Looks like in the offseason, knowing that they were going to they were going to be professionals for the first time in a full season with a training camp and now a regular season. Sekos had an outstanding college career at Clarkson. Fizer had an outstanding junior career with the Victoria Royals, and they've just great training camp has just been, now great first week of the regular season, and you're talking about the 2 guys that really made the biggest impact on the win. Fizer with 2 goals, Sekos with 1, and there's a reason why those guys were the number 1 and number 2 stars tonight.
Yeah, I would agree, and I think that one of the interesting things is I'm going to try and get our winning goaltender Lukas Parik to come here. No, you don't have to put your. Yeah, let's just share this microphone, Lukas, because I got to ask you. I'm just going to hold this real quick, but I just have to ask you, man. What are the emotions in your win tonight? You played your ass off tonight, man. How do you feel?
It was unreal. The emotions were there. I knew what Birdie is going to come at me, yelling at me after the first period. I knew it's going to be a dirty game, but hey, we stick together. The boys helped me in the defense, and that's just the fucking team play.
Yeah, and you know what? I think the thing that really stands out is you guys, when Rapid City came, because, they're walking up behind you guys and punching one of your forwards in the face. You guys stayed disciplined. I think that talks about your character.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Let's not look at my slashes in the first period. But no, it was good. They were just trying to play dirty game against us. We knew that it's going to come, and I knew they were going to just try to punch me and just get me off my rhythm, and my team as well. And I'm just happy that the boys and we stick together, and we just got the win.
By the way, you told me before the game there was no emotion in this. Oh, it was all about our team. Come on now. There had to be some emotion playing Rapid City.
There were fucking emotions to kick their fucking ass, but that was the only emotion that was in there.
Hey, go enjoy yourself, man. Really appreciate you. Congratulations on a great win. There you go. Lukas Parik. We apologize for the French. He is French. But what a win for Lukas Parik right there. You can't help but be happy for that guy.
It was outstanding tonight, 25 of 27 on saves. The native of the Czech Republic, the former 3rd-round pick of the LA Kings. He had a good year with Rapid City, and once again, making his mark here in his 2nd full season as a pro. Gets the victory, and I think Grizzlies fans are really going to like what they see from him and really think about the goaltending depth. I know Trent Miner is going to have a good road trip. Parik's certainly pretty good, and Garrett Metcalf, who doesn't even get addressed as the 3rd goalie. He got a look in AHL camp, and the Calgary Wranglers are certainly going to take a good, hard look at him.
Yeah.
Grizzlies have outstanding goaltending depth, maybe the best in the league.
Well, and I think you saw Trent Miner last night. Lukas Parik, he was, remember what he was. What did we see in Boise, Tyson, last Friday? I think we got an early indicator, and then to come out and play in this game, and down here on the bench, you hear it. They're going after him. Rapid City are taunting him. They're yelling at him. They're rushing him. They're spraying him. He stayed on his game. It was really a phenomenal performance out of him tonight.
Chechelev allowed a lot of rebounds. The Grizzlies, maybe in practice, see if they can find a way to capitalize on some of those against some future opponents. The Grizzlies had 19 road wins this season, and this 8-game road trip is certainly going to be big. It could set the tone for the Grizzlies having success on the road. They'll take on Idaho next week for a 2-game set next Friday and Saturday. And then they'll play Kansas City for 3 and Allen for 3. And I think a good benchmark for this road trip. Can you come out of it above 500? Can you go 5-3? And even if a couple of your losses, can you find a way to get a standing point? Allen's going to be interesting. They're kind of a wild card team because they made a lot of changes and they got a new head coach and Chad Costello replacing Steve Martinson, who'd been there for about a decade. And we'll see what Kansas City has. I'm interested in that series because Kansas City was a non-playoff team. What kind of improvements has Tato had made from year to year with the Mavericks, who had some good forwards last season?
Yeah, and I think that, you talk about it all the time because I think it's really important. This is the ever-changing hockey league. The ECHL is one of those leagues where if you're here a long time, you're not happy about it. If you're here 3, 4, 5 years, you're probably at the end of your career or you're in a situation. That's why there's so much turnover here. The reason you see guys like, I always point to Aaron Dell, the former Grizzly goaltender. He's a guy that wound up in the NHL, but he had to grind his way through the ECHL. You go up to the A, you come down. You see all this turnover because these guys are fighting for their hockey lives. And so you see that the way things change. Coaches, though, are here for a long time. I mean, you look at how long Tim Branham was here. You look at now a guy, like Coach K, who's going to be here as long as he wants to be here. Coaches don't turn over a lot. So it's interesting to watch the way this league changes personnel-wise.
Grizzlies taking on the Idaho Steelheads next Friday and Saturday. We'll see if I can find a way to get a hotel room in Boise. If not, they've got a pretty good video feed to call from. Monty, where are you going to be next week?
Oh, I'm going up to Boise. There's no doubt about that. Come on, Tyson. We'll go to the steakhouse. It'll be amazing.
Yeah, it'll be a fun time. No question about it. The steakhouse is absolutely the best. Lock, stock, and barrel if you're in Boise. It's certainly worth the walk. Might be a little bit chilly this week. I know that here in the Salt Lake Valley, I certainly hope I'm not scraping snow when I walk outside. But I do know one thing. I'm hungry, so let's go get some food.
Hey, by the way, before we sign off tonight, this is the last time we're ever going to see this building like this. I mean, when you think about the changes that are coming here, Tyson, you've seen a lot of hockey and a lot of events in this building. You see that thing hanging above center ice. You see the new ribbon boards that are going around the upper deck, and you see what the proposed changes are in the south end zone here and how much that's going to be different. This really could be the last time we see the Maverik Center look the way this Maverik Center looks right now.
Speaking of proposed, we had a proposal in the first intermission.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. What a weekend of hockey. My goodness.
And with two good teams, a split probably was the way it was going to go. Rapid City won 5-3 last night. Grizzlies get their first victory of the season. 3-2 the final score. Lukas Parik, the number 3 star, stopping 25 of 27. Sekos with a big third period goal, and he did a lot of things. Him clearing the puck out with about 20 seconds is really what sealed the game. And Taryn Pfizer, what can you say? Scored a goal last night on a nice move about halfway through, and with 2 nice goals, including a beautiful backhand shot for his second goal, which came 8:08 into the third. That turned out to be the game winner. And Utah comes away with the victory to go to 1-1 on the season. Rapid City falls to 1-1. Any final thoughts here on a Saturday night?
I'm really impressed with this team. I am impressed with the maturity on this team, all the returning guys, all the talent on this team. Excellent call tonight, Tyson, as always. That's why you're the best in the business in this league. My final thoughts are, wow, what a weekend. I'm going to sleep late tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm going to sleep in late, watch some football, and just have a good day. No doubt about that.
Amen to that.
Utah Grizzlies defeat the Rapid City Rush 3-2. Once again in 2 hours and 25 minutes and in front of a crowd of 4,510. It was raucous here. It was physical throughout. Grizzlies and the Rush, a very heated rivalry. Grizzlies come out on top here on this occasion. For Monty, I'm Tyson Whiting, and it is what it is. We'll talk to you this upcoming Friday as the Grizzlies take on the Idaho Steelheads in Boise. You're listening to the Grizzlies Hockey Network.